gentlemen, you're going to be in pain today. That pain is entirely up to you. It can stop at any time. All you have to do is answer the questions we give you, and we'll let you go.
This is Julian Dorey. He's a podcaster, a personal friend of mine, and one of the only people, maybe ever, who voluntarily got waterboarded and interrogated by the CIA. And today he's breaking down what he learned about enhanced interrogation, what the CIA actually does, the science behind breaking someone's mind, and why he agreed to do it.
Like, I got a small taste. What they do is significantly worse than that. At least some of those things on that enhanced interrogation list, they definitely went beyond. Otherwise, you don't destroy those tapes.
We also get into the ethics. Does waterboarding count as torture? The psychological tricks that interrogators will use, and what it's like having former CIA guys throw ice water on your face while you're blindfolded.
And immediately the water's filling up the mask. And you heard some of the sounds right there. I'm like, "Grr!" And then like Trevor's pulling me back when it ends. And I'm going, like this, and then bringing me back forward. I'm like breathing like down, but I can't really get air. It's like just enough.
This one is a fascinating episode. Julian is a phenomenal storyteller and just a great guy. And what he's gone through with his friend Tommy G is truly crazy. Our friend Andrew Bustamante from the CIA literally interrogated him for a few hours, and he explains every last detail. So, if you are a fan of the CIA, enhanced interrogation, and crazy things to do with your friends, this is the episode for you. So sit back, relax, and welcome to camp. Julian Dorey, what's up, brother?
Marky Gags, it's good to see you again, my friend.
Thank you for joining me. I really
Thank you
appreciate it.
for having me.
Thank you for coming all the way from Jersey.
It's Jersey, but
No, that's how you guys say it.
Yeah. It's not a long train commute, if you will.
Well, that's how Deef says it. This old Italian. You know what I mean?
Yeah, I mean, Deef lives in Brooklyn now, so, you know.
Yeah.
This was like a fucking walk for him.
Yeah. Wait, oh, you're in Brooklyn now?
Yeah.
Oh, hell yeah, dude.
Right.
Dude, you're stealing from Brooklyn.
Well, technically, he was in Jersey when he started working with me, and then went back.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. Dude, oh yeah, this is
Not Tommy G. Right, got it. I like that.
Yeah, we're still very guilty about that over here at Camp Productions. Okay?
Yeah, that was still the funniest fucking intro I've ever seen in my life. I'm like, because I was looking through the feed at like where they got that picture, and I used to post screenshots from the episode when I would post the actual episode. And I did this every episode up until last September when we filmed.
Yeah. For
the 6 months after that episode came out. And you had to scroll down literally 6 months and scroll over one to find that shot.
Yeah.
Every single post had pictures of, like, multiple pictures of me in it, too.
Yeah.
I was like, that was incredible effort to get it wrong.
Yeah, it's remarkable.
Yeah.
For anyone that doesn't know, the last time Julian came on this wonderful program, we did feature a video of him, and we were like, this is Julian Dorey, and then we showed a picture of Tommy G instead. It was the wrong thing. And that's just because Christos is racist, and he thinks all white people look the same.
You calling me a white guy?
I don't want to throw anyone under the bus. I did not do that intro.
But
I did not catch it.
See, there you go.
I am white, so it does make sense.
Yeah, it always goes back around, dude. But speaking of you and Tommy G, I just watched the video of you getting interrogated.
Oh, you did?
That was kind of scary for a bunch of different reasons.
Why was it scary?
First off, it was scary because our dear friend Andrew Bustamante was doing it.
Yeah.
And I know Andrew. You know Andrew.
Mm-hmm.
He's the sweetest guy ever. You know, he comes in. He's asking about my family. He's talking about my kids. We're talking about geopolitics. It's just always a wonderful cerebral conversation with a good pal. And then I saw him, and I would leave pods with him. I'm like, dude, this guy really, like, what was he doing at the CIA? He was probably behind a computer, looking at numbers or something. There's no way.
He started there.
But I was like, there's no way this guy has it in him to be just a dog, And then I saw the video. You're getting punched in the stomach. There's a bag on your head. You're getting the people's elbow off a turnbuckle. I was like, whoa, what the hell? And he's got that, dude. He was like Roman Reigns. He was like, yeah. It was insane.
Well, here's the thing. Like Tommy, who, one of my very close friends and literally, I think, one of the best documentary filmmakers in the world, he has a job to do with every video he puts out once a week where he has to tell a story and get it down into 25 to 40 minutes, right? And he has to give the context, give the intro, provide the actual background information, do interviews on the ground, cut to different things. But all the stories that he does up until this point were basically him capturing things that already were happening on the ground. This was a simulated piece to where he wanted to put himself through something, capture that, react to it, and interview the people involved who have also done this stuff in real life to get an idea about the question of like whether or not the United States should have the capacity to torture for information. So it was a wildly new concept for him to be trying, but to get what we did with all the other things you have to fit into 40 minutes down into a 40-minute documentary is crazy. And so when we were actually doing it, and I'll get to like what the whole context was of us even doing it, but when we were doing it, there were a few, I was very locked in because it gets real in there. We'll talk about that. But like artistically, I was thinking about how this would go, and we were probably an hour into it, and I was like, fuck. This really needs to be like a 3-hour immersive, like documentary kind of thing, because people aren't going to understand like all the little things. Like we had 5 different cameramen in there. They were unbelievable. They were everywhere. They had every angle covered.
Can we pull up the video actually, Christos? I think that'd be helpful for context.
They had every angle covered in fucking 4K, and I have all the raw footage, and it's just like blew me away how well they captured this live, because there's no fucking takes. We just do the whole thing. There's no like cut. All right, I need more. There's none of that.
If I was directing, that's what I would do.
I'm sure
I would see you get fucking elbowed in the dick, and I'd be like, guys, can we actually? The lighting, boom mic fell into the frame, so we're gonna redo that one. I mean, how does this come up? So first off, just Tommy G is an amazing documentarian filmmaker. He's like makes some of the sickest content ever. Like everything from Christos, we're gonna get you YouTube Premium. Okay, I want you to know that.
I keep telling Dave the same thing.
Now that Julian's here and we're actually making fucking cash, okay? Now that he's brought his mug on this beautiful screen, we're gonna get views, baby. We're gonna chip in. We're gonna get you $10.99 a month to get YouTube Premium.
But it's the best investment of all time, people. I'm not going to lie. Like, when I did it 5-6 years ago, I was like, where has this been all my life?
Oh, unlimited amazing content from our friend Tommy G for $10 a month?
That's the best. Yeah.
So how does this come up? Does he call you and go, hey, dude, I have this idea?
Here's what happened. So Tommy has been instrumental. Like, we hit it off right away when we became friends. And then he and I have both been, like, helping each other out wherever we can. And he's been instrumental in getting me some people on the show, and then I've helped him put together documentaries with cast of characters. So when Trump almost got whacked in July 2024, he immediately called me up. He's like, I want to do a documentary on site. So I'm like, okay, cool. And he goes, I need guys. So I said,
all right. This is also not what he sounds like.
I said, yeah, I do an exaggerated version. I do an exaggerated version.
Meet me by the docks at 9 p.m. You're like, all right, can we just
but he like
Zoom?
Does like the like I do it exaggerated, but he does like the swallow, like kind of hello folks, I'm Tommy G, right? And it's like this aw shucks kind of guy. He's like, today I'm gonna get shot in the hoods of St. Louis. This isn't real, but it is.
Yeah, he's like street Mr. Beast. You know what I
mean, bro, dude? And it was quick side context. At one point, once we wrapped the whole day, we had to do the disclaimer video where he sits down in a chair just in his hoodie and says, do not attempt any of this stuff at home.
Yeah.
So this is a layup, right? And we have to do this so the video is not like censored off of YouTube. And so we're like, all right, Andy, you just talk off camera to him and like ask him directly so that he can answer it. So Andy goes, Tommy, would you recommend that anyone does this at home? And he goes, I don't. Anyone is a strong, and we're like, what the fuck? Say no.
So why are you waffling on that one?
It took him 3 takes to do it, and like on the 3rd take, I was like, cut. Just say, don't fucking do it. Tom.
Yeah, he doesn't work in absolutes.
He's like, okay, but he's so about it. So he's like, I want to get this crew together to film this Trump documentary on like the Butler thing. And so he said, I want a CIA guy, I want a Secret Service guy, and I want a sniper. And I'm like, Evie Pomporis, I don't think would do it. She's the only Secret Service person I think I've ever known. And then I'm like, Andy will definitely do it. And my guy, Danny Hall, who's, Green Beret, Silver Star awardee, like savage. I'm like, he'll do it. So I call up Andy. He's like, I'm in. I call up Danny. He's in. Tommy gets it together. He puts him out there that weekend. This is like, I think they filmed it late July 2024. Like it was right after.
Oh, wow.
And so he does it, and a day after they leave, he calls me saying, oh, it went great, whatever, it's coming out next week, da-da-da. He's like, I was talking with Andy, though, and we were talking about content ideas, and he had this idea about putting me through SERE school to comment on whether or not these things should be used in the context of like American prisoners of war or things like that.
You're saying
like
SERE school?
Yeah, it's survival, escape, resistance, and something. It's the equivalent of like, if you were captured by an enemy, here's how they might torture you. So he's saying, let's put you through it because there's this whole argument that the United States has done this to quote unquote terrorists in the past. So like, should we do it or not? And you could make a documentary where you film it.
Great idea.
And Tommy's like, it's a great idea. And I'm like, yeah, it's a great idea. You should do it. He goes, yeah, Andy's like a little bit excited about this stuff.
Yeah.
And I was like, oh? And he goes, yeah, I'm a little nervous about giving him the keys to the kingdom. So he's like, if I did this, would you come do it with me? And I'm just like walking through Hoboken at night while I'm on this call. I'm like, yeah, why not? Like, don't think anything of it. So a few months goes by, I don't hear nothing. And then in the winter, he's like, all right, we're going to do it. I'm like, okay. So we're figuring out like all spring, trying to get the schedules lined up. And we figure out we're going to do it in June, like a month or two before. We figure out we're going to do it in June. And Andy's going to bring Trevor Fortner, who is an ex-Navy dive team specialist who did like a lot of special operations missions, has trained people in this before. He's been personally waterboarded like for training exercises and stuff like that. And, we'll film it out in Milwaukee where Tommy lives. So I'm like, okay, bet. Don't really think about it again. Because like, in my head, I had this idea of just like, oh, it's SERE school. I'm like, how bad could this get?
Yeah, you need a manager, dude. You need someone, you need just like a neurotic Jewish guy to be like, yeah, I don't know if this is the best. Where were you? Where the fuck was Dave? Yeah, I didn't want to schlep all the way over there, but just maybe we should look into something different. You need someone. You need a motherly energy to be like, maybe not this one, right? That's where you were supposed to be, dude. Come on.
I live day to day. Like it's about today. I'm not thinking about tomorrow, and So then it turns to, I think we were filming it on like June 12th, so it's like June 10th, and I'm like, oh, I'm flying to Milwaukee tomorrow, and that was that. So. This is what sucked, bro. About a week before, 5-6 days before, my friend Brian walks up to me in the gym, like in the morning, dabs me up, like, comes in, does like the bear hug kind of thing. I'm like, where you been? I haven't seen you in a couple weeks. He's like, oh, bro, I've had like mono. Or so, like he said some shit. He's like, I've had a virus. My whole body was shut down and everything.
Nice.
And I'm like, the fuck did you just dab
You guys are
me
mid-makeout? He's like, yeah, by the way. You're like, dude, can you tell me before we kiss? Like,
So
what the hell?
I'm like, what the fuck? So Saturday, I filmed 2 podcasts. That was like Saturday, June 9th, I think. And it was Eric Zuliger, and then Kat Schultz was in town. And so I'm getting sick throughout the day to the point that I'm like, like choking. I'm like, oh, this is not good. I wake up Sunday sick as a dog, and I'm like, I'm gonna fucking kill Brian. I gotta fly to Milwaukee tomorrow. I gotta get fucking SERE school on Tuesday. This is not good. So Monday, I like get up. I'm not feeling good. I take like a bunch of Tylenol, which now,
Yeah, it's
apparently
that
you're not
explains
supposed
it.
to
That's
do
why you
that.
know all the numbers of your episodes.
I guess.
Too much Tylenol, you're turning to Rain Man.
The acetaminophen pill or whatever the fuck it's called. But anyway, so I get on the flight and I'm just like banged up, but I'm a little better than I was Sunday. So I get the Mucinex. Keegan, Tommy's guy, one of his guys, great dude on his team, hits me up. He's like, yo, is there anything you need? I'll get it before I pick you up. I was like, normally I'd say fuck no, but like, yeah, here's Mucinex, fucking sinus fluid, like all this shit. He picks all of it up. So I fly into Milwaukee at like 8 o'clock at night. I had been to Vegas once last summer. Other than that, I've never been.
Those aren't the same. They're not even really close to each other.
Just listen to me.
How are you gonna put that in there?
Deep's dying.
Yeah, I flew to Milwaukee. I went to Chipotle actually one time, which was there's a Mexican guy that was similar, I guess. But it's like, dude, what?
Nah. So point being, like, I had really never been west of Pennsylvania except that
Really?
time. Yeah.
You ever been to California?
I've been all up and down the East Coast. I've been throughout Europe. But I just never went west. I never went west of like where I went to college. So
You're a real Jersey Mick, you know that? You're a real Patty. He's like, yeah, don't leave the East Coast, okay? I get away from a slice of pizza. I can't risk it, you know?
yeah,
Like,
I mean that would
get
be
over there.
that would be the Guinea side of me, but that's neither here nor there.
Go
Anyway,
over there, dude.
so I'm like, all right, I fly into Milwaukee. I thought fucking 2 people lived here. like Milwaukee. Like, who the fuck lives in Milwaukee?
No, it's a real city.
It's no, that's what I mean. Like, there were buildings and shit. There were like 15 stories.
You thought you were
Like,
going to
driving
Fallujah?
by, yeah, I thought it was like one of those empty Chinese cities they just built up and said, "Look at this." And Keegan's like, "No, there's people that live here."
Yeah, there's a
But
whole basketball team.
This was the best part. He's picking me up, and Keegan's like an unintentionally funny guy, but when you fly into Milwaukee at 8 o'clock at night, this didn't help the reputation. There's no one at the airport.
Yeah,
It's
that
fucking
happens,
empty.
which is great.
I mean, it makes Atlantic City look crowded.
Yeah.
And so I'm like, wow. And then I call Keegan. He's like, yeah, I'm pulling up right now. Fucking whips up in the rape van, which is, the fucking van they're going to kidnap in the next day.
Yeah.
It's like, I don't know, 25 feet long, no windows anywhere. That's by design.
Yeah.
There's only windows on the front where someone's driving. And I'm like, what the fuck? He goes, oh, yeah, I just rented the van. I'm like, God damn it.
From who?
That's
that guy's
well,
hard drive.
that's what he said.
What the
He's
hell?
like, I had to go. I put the suitcase in the back, and it's just fucking flat, like flapping around back there. And there's like buckets and shit and towels and masks. And I'm like, Keegan, where did you get that? He's like, dude, I went to like 6 different Walmarts. I thought I was going to get arrested. I'm like, you still might get arrested. So this motherfucker, like, we're driving down the highway, and then all of a sudden, I'm like looking at the speedometer. He's doing like 87, 88,
Swerving.
like whipping in between lanes. You just hear the bucket going.
Kia boys.
And I'm like, oh, I'm too sick for this shit. So I get to Tommy's house, and he's like, all right, let's go for a walk. So we go for a walk. He still lives in this nice neighborhood. We're going for like a nice romantic late night walk. And he's like, have you looked up what they're going to do to us? And I was like, honestly, no.
You're like, I have syphilis. I
I'm
have
like, that's
mono
what I'm
right now.
saying. I'm
sick.
like, I need to get back and go to bed. It's going to be fine. It's content, Tom.
Yeah.
It's going to be fine.
Yeah, they're not going to go that hard.
That's exactly what I said. I'm like, they're not going to go that hard. And he's like, bro, I was on Wikipedia. There's like a lot of possibility. He's like, now Tommy G goes into places where he's going to get shot.
Yeah. He's
with a straight
actual
face.
gang members. Yeah.
Yeah. Like, this is the most fearless guy I know. And now I'm like kind of looking at him like, what the fuck are we doing? And I'm like, I don't have time to think about this. He's probably just like psyching himself up. So I go back. I'm like, he goes, yo, Andy and Trevor are getting in from the airport. And now I'm like, fuck that. I'm going to bed. I need to sleep. So I wake up in the morning. I'm in one of the bedrooms upstairs. And then in the other bed is this fucking Trevor guy, the Navy dive team guy, who I've never met before.
Mm-hmm.
And like, we both wake up at the same time. We're like, hey, how are you? Go downstairs, start like having coffee and stuff. He's like the sweetest guy ever. And I'm like, oh no, Andy really fucked this up. Like, he brought like a teddy bear with him. Who's going to buy this?
Oh,
Like, this guy's like the nicest guy ever. Andy comes down, starts making eggs. I'm like, all right, when we shipping out? They're like, 7:45, 8 o'clock, whatever. So I say to Andy, I'm like, Andy, what do you think? Should I wear a hoodie? He's like, he just looks at Trevor and starts laughing. He goes, yeah, it's going to get cold today. And I was just like, all right, bet. And I'm like, that's interesting. So I throw on a cutoff and a hoodie. And Tom and me get in the car, and we drive with these two motherfuckers to Milwaukee because he lives right outside the city.
Now, up until this point, are you aware of what Bustamante is able to do? Are you aware of Andy's, are you concerned about how he will be? Or are you kind of like, oh, he'll be sort of like the way he always is?
When I got there, I'll explain that. When I got there, I started to be. I wasn't concerned because I was thinking, I know Andy's like done some shit. I know like he would go that far. But like, I'm thinking this is going to be like kid gloves. Like, we're fucking YouTubers. It's the softest thing you can be.
Now,
you know
also,
what I mean?
I'm curious because you're a confident guy. You're an athlete, right? Like, I imagine there's a little part of you, because I feel the same way, where I'm like, I can handle this shit. You know what I mean? Like,
Of course I thought that because I didn't think they were like going to go that far. I was like, this isn't going to be that
So
bad.
there's a little party that's like your ego's involved, and you're like, I'm not going to break.
The ego wasn't there yet.
Okay.
Oh, that's coming.
Okay.
Oh, the ego comes in.
Okay.
Trust me.
Yeah, that's
But
like the whole point, right?
But like when Tommy had said that the night before, I was like, should I be? Fuck this. Like, whatever.
Now, are you reading Tommy at this point? Is he seeming a little stressed?
Tommy seemed better in the morning.
Okay.
Yeah, that was the other thing. Like he's sitting up front. I'm sitting in the back with Trevor. Tommy's driving. Andy's in passenger seat. I'm like, they're gonna torture us in a half hour. Get the fuck out of here. So what we had decided to do, and by we I mean Tommy, is rent out a warehouse, an abandoned warehouse in Milwaukee, which they also have those apparently.
Yeah, that's more obvious.
Right. Yeah. And so we rented it out for 2 days, and the second day being the day we actually filmed. And we had agreed with the Milwaukee PD that we were going to get kidnapped off the streets of Milwaukee, a little bit away from there, and them not to do anything because it wasn't real. Like, they were told who everyone was, liability waivers, all that.
Tommy's planning is really remarkable.
Oh, Tommy's planning's amazing.
That's
Unless
like
he goes
crazy.
base jumping, then it's not amazing.
Okay, we'll get to that.
Yeah, there's some pending legal charges there. But anyway, so on this one, he had all that set up, and he was like, all right, we're going to go to the warehouse first just so like Andy and Trevor can get an idea of the surroundings and also train the guards and everything. And I'm like, oh, this is like the Stanford prison experiment shit. We're going to have guards. So we get there, and the first thing, this is where it starts, Mark. This is where I start going, the first thing I see is Miguel, who's Tommy's longtime like editor extraordinaire, genius for my money, like the best editor on YouTube. I love Miguel. Quiet, sweet kid, right? Miguel is in it, bro. Like, he's got a Yankee hat on low, like he's fucking Marty Scorsese in 1977. And like, he's wearing the black director's clothes, and he's like not on drugs, but almost that thing where you're like, oh, he's got something running through his veins today, right? And he's like, hey, Julian, how are you? I'm like, oh, shit, he's ready to go. And so I introduced myself to the other guys. A couple of Tommy's best friends are there, and they're going to be some of the guards. And the one guy is like 5'11", completely shaved head, jacked goatee, fucking like ex-military psycho-looking dude. And I'm like, oh, okay, he works. The other one is like his best friend from his whole life. And at the time, like, he was nice. So it's like, okay, that'll be fine. But we get in there. And then Tommy he had a crew of 5. So he had Miguel, Keegan, Dre, who's a regular lead videographer for a lot of their content. And then he had Andrew as well there filming. And then he had one other guy. Like, there were a couple guys like coming out throughout the day, and they were like switching out. So there were like 5 total, and Jack was filming. Jack's his other editor with Miguel, who's also an amazing editor. And so we're all like kind of standing there, and we walk through the opening of this abandoned warehouse, and it's a movie set, bro. Like, first of all, the outside, I literally called my agent afterwards, and I'm like, yo, if you guys need a place to film interior and exterior, like Russian mobsters fucking people up or doing some crazy shit with a drill saw or something, I got the place for you. The outside of this place was just off the beaten path in Milwaukee. Like, if you look at a Google map of Milwaukee, it's like the city that actually has people in it, and then there's a bunch of like, there's like a surrounding reservoir of estuaries of a river that like surrounds it and then runs off to some fucking river or lake. I don't know. But there is an old 25-foot or 25-meter long drawbridge that's rusted that takes you basically out of the city from like civilization to no civilization, and you see this giant open pathway of a giant like warehouse that has a faded out old like brewery sign on it. It's 6 stories high, brick, probably 170 years old, and it's got the river wrapping around the building, and there's like boats and shit.
Literal fortress.
Oh, it's a fortress. It's a fortress. I'm looking at this. I'm like, wow, this is like central casting.
Like a medieval crackhead lives in there.
Yeah. So we get in. I'm like, how much did this cost? She's like, $500. I'm like, wow.
Whoa.
Yeah, it was crazy. 6 stories. This thing was like fucking, I don't know, 12,000 square feet. Like, it was 16,000, something crazy. There's like 6 floors. So we get in there, and the first floor, we know that's not where we're doing the stuff. But I just start walking through the first floor, and there's like, it's like there's nails on the fucking ground, a musty smell. It looked like Dirty Mike and the boys just fucked over there last night. And then there's like there's an abandoned church pew. Like, I took a picture of it. It literally like had it was with a chandelier that definitely hasn't seen electricity since the Vietnam War ended above it, and then like a church pew that just had like a cross on it.
Kind of ominous.
And oh, dude, it was so ominous. Hold on, I have it. It's right
Not
here.
the scariest church pew we've ever seen.
It's, for me, it was up there. That's it. See the chandelier?
Dude, what is this?
That's what I'm saying.
No, this is not. This is like an altar.
Yeah. It was like, I was like, is this like where they do it? You know?
They made a literal altar.
Yeah, but like,
Someone.
I don't think for God.
Yeah.
You know, this
What
wasn't
the hell?
wasn't giving me like, your soul is saved kind of vibes.
What is this?
I don't know.
Satanic, dude.
Maybe
What
I'll
the
give
fuck?
that to you, Christos, if you want it.
Yeah,
At
please.
the end, just remind me. But anyway, so I'm just walking around like, fuck. And Andy and Trevor start walking through the place. And this is where I first start to notice Trevor, it's almost like in real time, his face kind of had gone from dead eyes, bro. And Tommy comes up to me and goes, yo, Trevor's getting really into it, bro. I'm like, yeah, he actually is. So they're like, we're going to run upstairs to where it's going to be for a second. And they say, you can come up with us because they hadn't set anything up yet. So we get up there. We're up there for 2 minutes. Tommy just goes through a couple camera things. And then they're like, get the fuck out of here. We're going to get it set up. So we go downstairs. They all come down a few minutes later. And they're like, all right, we all need to meet without you guys. Something, it's all right, they're going to have like a 15-minute meeting or whatever.
Yeah.
So they said the way on the other side of the warehouse through a few doors is like an old lobby area. It's like carpeted with some shitty bathroom. They're like, just shut the doors there. You two go back in there. So Tommy and I go back in there. 5 minutes later, the door opens and some lady with a Wisconsin accent walks up and goes, hi, I'm here to be the on-site nurse. And I was like, oh, we have an on-site nurse. I'm like, I forgot about that. Yeah, you're in the right place. So we're talking with her, and then after like 10 minutes, sweetest woman ever, too. I was like, oh, she has no idea what
You're like,
is.
while you're here, I have this cough kind of brewing. Like, can you prescribe?
I'm like down in Mucinex and shit, like throwing it back. But I'm like, Tommy, does this girl know what she got into? He's like, I mean, I said on the Instagram story, we're doing a SERE school training, so I think so. I'm like, I don't know, bro. So we say to her, we're like, you should probably go back and meet with them. So go through the doors. They'll be right back there. So she does. Bro, like an hour goes by after that. They're still meeting. And Tommy and me, I posted some videos of it. Like, some of it was funny. But, like, Tommy's starting to get psyched out, and I'm getting psyched out, too. Because I'm like, oh, fuck. Like, this is, after, like, 20 minutes, you're like, what are they talking about back there, right? I know it don't take this long to set up cameras when you got that many guys. Like, I've been in the game long enough. Like, this is not that hard. And also, it's going to be moving cameras, so they're not necessarily having everything stationary at all times. So we're like, Tommy's like, this, I don't know about this, man. So at some point, Dre walks through the door because he's coming in there to go to the bathroom. And, he's got, like, the director's, like, smock on and everything. Like, he's ready to fucking go. Walks through the door, and he just looks at us. And he's like this cool, like Culiacan kind of, he's definitely not from Mexico, so I'm gonna get this wrong, but like a Culiacan kind of Mexican looking dude.
Yeah.
And he just looks at us, he goes, and Tommy goes, all right, Dre, I know you can't give me details, but on a scale of 1 to very, very bad, what are we looking at here? And Dre just fucking looks at him and then looks at me. He's like, he just starts breathing. He's like,
no way. Okay.
Woo! He starts going like this.
Is this a part of it, you think?
No.
You don't think they're like, hey, we're going to put him in a
Mark.
room, isolate him?
No. Mark, at this point, I was like, oh, this is bad. Like, in my head, I was actually, I don't know, you named the feeling. Like, I had it. I was like, oh, boy. So Tommy's just, like, looking at him, and he's just like, and then proceeds to, like, walk to the bathroom, and, like, I'm right here, Tommy's right here, and so he's walking to the bathroom this way, and Tommy just kind of, like, follows him like this. The door shuts to the bathroom. There's, like, a pause, and he turns back around to me. He goes, oh, this is really, really bad. And I was like, might be. Yeah. I don't know now.
And now you're in a tough spot, too, because you're like, okay, the ego party is like, I want to power through, fuck these guys, I can handle it. But then also, like, the other party's like, I can't pussy out because then the video's fucked and there's all these people that are making this thing happen. Like, I can't just be like, all right, I give up. Like, you have to endure some of it.
That's what I'm saying.
Yeah.
Like, here's the thing, and people need to hear this part loud and clear before we go through any of this story. If you are actually kidnapped by someone who's going to torture you, you're fucked. There's no safe word. There's no getting out of it. You don't know in the back of your head that it's going to end at some point. As far as you know, you're not going to have fingernails, teeth, or a fucking dick by the end of it. You have no idea.
Ugh.
That is not the situation we were dealing with. I knew at any point we can say stop and it's over.
Yeah.
It's literally, all right, cut. We're good. But to your point, there's two things that are coming in. Number one, we're entertainers. We need to do good content here. Otherwise, like Tommy's investment in this video.
Yeah, all $700.
Well, listen, the warehouse was cheap, but obviously there was a lot of other things going on here. So I'm like, that's number one. I flew all the way out here for this as well. Like,
Yeah,
you know,
time.
I got to do this right for him. And I know he's going to do well with it. Like, Tommy does crazy shit every single week. The second thing is, I cannot let Andy break me for clout. I was like, that can't happen. Like, he and I have a very good friendly rivalry. And I'm like, I need to figure this out today, whatever this is going to be, and just fucking roll with it. So they come back in. They literally met it was 75 to like 90 minutes. It was somewhere in there. They all come in, and Andy's like, all right, we're going to do the liability waiver videos. So we get up there. First, it's Tommy and him, and he goes, I release all liability to the fucking CIA guy and that bald guy back there. And then I get up there, and I make a joke and do the same thing. And then they're like, all right, let's go. So here's the deal. You guys are going to get kidnapped separately. You're not going to know the second it's coming, but Julian, you're going to agree to it. Tommy, you're going to resist.
Okay.
So they're like, Julian, you're going to go with Jack, and you're going to pretend you're filming like a documentary feature for Tommy G on the street of Milwaukee. And then we're going to come up. There's going to be 4 of us. We're going to say like something like, come with us. And you just don't try to punch us. You basically go like, oh, fuck. Because you're surrounded by 4 guys. In real life, you might actually do that.
Yeah.
Because you're like, you
I
immediately
can talk my way
go,
out of this. Maybe I know a guy.
Yeah,
we can settle this diplomatically.
Right. And you're immediately like, I'm not overpowering all 4 of these. They're all huge too, right?
But then there's some people that'll be like, no, fuck you. I'm not going down. And that was Tommy's assignment.
Right. But Tommy also, they were doing it where it was like a sneak up attack. So it was, whereas with me, it was going to be like they were going to something like pull up right next to me and immediately have 4 guys there.
Right.
Like immediately.
More like an arrest.
Whereas with him, it was going to come out of nowhere.
Kidnapping.
So I'm like, okay. And I guess they were going to kidnap me first. I don't know if we really knew which was coming first, but we knew it was going to happen. So I get out. They drop us off somewhere on the street. Well, first, they drive us in a Hyundai in the truck, or in the trunk. They're like, you might as well
get used to
it. So we're like, all right, fuck it. So Tommy and me get out of the trunk. I get out first, and then they take him, and he gets out somewhere else a few blocks away. This is in the middle of, like, again, like a real city. And so I'm walking down the street, and Jack's like, yeah, just talk to the camera. I'm like, all right, let's do like a Kia Boys documentary or something. I'm like, I'm Julian Dorey. I'm here in Milwaukee for my friend Tommy G doing a Kia Boys documentary. And then I see the van, like, right there, pull into the spot. 4 guys get out, and Trevor walks up to me. They surround me. Trevor walks up to me and goes, Julian Dorey? I'm like, yeah. I think I did a good job. I was like,
you sold it.
I was just like, I'm like, just do less. So I'm like, yeah. And he's like, you need to come with us. I'm like something simple like that. And then they get me in there, and you couldn't really see this on the camera, but they like slam your knees into the metal floor.
Oh wow.
And I was like, oh,
it's not a game.
I'm like, that's not a good first impression.
Yeah, it's not for the cameras.
I'm just like, all right, I'll just say lawyer. I'm like, lawyer. And they're like, just don't resist. I'm like, lawyer. And then, like, they get me down on the ground. They press my face in. They turn it like this into a stress position. And that's like the one. I have like an old loose disc in my neck. It never bothers me, ever. I can deadlift till the cows come home, box. It doesn't bother me. But if you turn it in a certain direction just like that and provide force, it like bothers you.
Yeah, if you get interrogated by the CIA, all of a sudden it starts to hurt.
Yeah, but like just the way, like he turned it the most perfect way. I was like, God damn it. But he didn't like move anything or anything like that.
Just hurt.
Yeah. I'm like, all right, it's fine.
What's up, guys? We're going to take a break really quick because I got to tell you a story. Imagine you're sitting in your house. It's cold outside. It's a little snowy. And you're like, man, I just want a panini. So you go and you order it, from DoorDash or something like that. And it never gets to you. You're looking at the app. You're like, dude, it's been 4 hours. Where's my panini? You're calling. No one answers. Well, this is a true story that happened. There was a woman, a client, that was working as a DoorDash driver, and she slipped and fell on an icy walkway outside of a Panera Bread in Fort Wayne, Indiana. She breaks her elbow, which leads to surgery and hardware having to get inserted into her arm. She can't work. And originally, she sues Panera, and Panera was like, okay, we'll give you like $125,000. But then the good people over at Morgan & Morgan fought for her and got her the $1 million verdict that she deserved. Yes. If you never heard of them, Morgan & Morgan is America's largest injury law firm. Yes, and they're that way for a reason. They've been fighting for the people for over 35 years. Now, I'll be honest, if I ordered, a panini and the woman gets paid $1 million because she slipped, I mean, it's a tragic thing to happen, of course, but I deserve a little bit of that. I should get a cut at least, right? I'm the one that ordered the panini. If I never ordered that panini, she never would have slipped, never got $1 million, which obviously she deserved. You know what I mean? But maybe next time she gets $1.1 million, I can get a cool 100,000 out of that. Regardless, all I'm saying is if you're ever injured and you are looking to get the money that you deserved, the compensation that is entitled to you from your injuries, Morgan & Morgan could be the way to go. Hiring the wrong law firm can be disastrous. I mean, you can be locked up in litigation. It's a nightmare. But hiring the right law firm could substantially increase your settlement. And with Morgan & Morgan, it's easy to get started. Their fee is $0 unless they win. That's right. Their fee is free unless they win your case. You don't pay you pay 0 cents unless they win your case. You can visit forthepeople.com/Gagnon, Gagnon. That is forthepeople.com/Gagnon, or dial pound law. That's pound 529 from your cell phone. That's forthepeople.com/Gagnon, or click the link in the description below. And thank you so much to the good folks over at Morgan & Morgan for sponsoring this program and making this show possible with this paid advertisement. Well, let's get back to the show. What's up, beautiful people of America? I am on the road. That's right. I'm doing my hour of stand-up comedy in many cities, some of which are near you. Going to Hoboken, Philadelphia, Fort Wayne, Indiana, Detroit, and Chicago. You can get tickets at my website, www.markgagnonlive.com. We also got the link in the description. I would love for you guys to come on out. I say what's up to everybody after the show. If you want to come hang, have some laughs, grab a pic with me, shake my hand, and tell me some crazy story. I would love to see you guys there. Can't wait. Let's get back to the show.
And so then they like one of the guards like has his knee like on your back, so it wasn't like a full shove in, it was like a half shove in, but you know what I mean. Like it was still like a little bit like, okay. And they masked me right before I went down, so they hooded me. It was like a musty fucking, almost like they left it in dust for a long time
On purpose.
Yeah, I'm allergic to dust. I mean, I got like I got cured of a lot of that. I take allergy shots like all the time, so I'm pretty good with it. But it wasn't, again, bad first impression.
Yeah, it's also not a great thing for you to lead off with.
Right?
Like, is it one that's like dusty?
Yeah, that's where my Jewish uncle would not have been a help. You know, there's a lot of dust in here. Maybe cut the dust. So I don't see anything because I'm hooded, but when I was watching the tape later, Andy just had like the biggest smile on his face. He was like, oh, yes.
Yeah.
And it's just like, so then Trevor gets me down, then he gets out of the truck, like looks around, shuts the door, and they have me mic'd right here. So I'm just like, well, this is a day ruiner. I don't know. I kind of like that. I thought that was pretty good. But then they drive off, and I don't know, maybe it was like 2 minutes, 5 minutes, somewhere in there. They come to a slight stop, and someone gets out. And like someone else gets out, and I'm like, all right, they got a guard with me, but I'm zip tied in the back. I should have said that. They didn't zip tie my feet yet. It was just my hands, right? So my feet are loose, but they have my feet in that kind of position. Yeah. Which also you lose your, not that I knew this yet at this point, but you lose your sense of surroundings in a hood. So when even they do these little tactics, like they'll just cross your feet. They won't, maybe at one point in the interrogation, they're not actually even going to zip tie it, which I feel like in a real interrogation, they would even do that. But like they don't even have to in some ways, because your feet stay in that cross position. Yeah. Like this. I'm doing
psychologically
this below the
complicit for some reason. Yeah.
Because you think they're bound.
Right.
They're not. You know they're not, but you think they are. So like I'm in that, and I'm just like, oh, this fucking sucks. So I move my neck a little bit, and it's fine. I'm like, okay, all right, let's just not do that again. And then a little bit of time goes by after they stop, and then I just hear, Phoom! He's like, fuck you, you piece of, fuck you piece. And it's like Tommy coming in, like, the fucking feds, call my lawyer, Don Mullen, or whatever. And I'm just like, fuck. So I'm like, oh, well, we got to entertain here. I can't see anything. You're not like good on a mic when you're hooded and zip tied.
Yeah, you don't even know if the camera's on you.
You don't even know if it sounds like
Yeah.
So like,
timing your jokes is all off. You're like, dude, I'm fucking bombing over here.
That's
like,
the thing, though. It sounds way better later. It's still not like your timing's not amazing or anything. But anytime you said something throughout the day, you're like, God, that was just off. And then you watch it later and you're like, that wasn't that bad. It just, everything feels off.
Yeah, of course.
Yeah. So Tommy gets slammed down next to me. 2 guys go on top of him. Like at some point I turned my head because you could kind of see out of the mask. So they left like one security guy in there, and then he comes in and they're all helping with that. So I like kind of turn my head like towards him so I can see a little bit. And he's like, "Fuck you. Who are you? What are you doing?" And then at some point I'm like, "All right, maybe I should say, Tom?" And he's like, "Who is that?" I'm like, "It's fucking Julian." He's like, "Huh?" I'm like, "The fuck did you do?" And then it's just like a little back and forth, and the car whooshes off. Again, when you watch the tape, Andy's just smiling like this, like a sociopath. So Andy starts whipping it around Milwaukee. Now, I know they dropped us off fucking 3 minutes, 2 minutes, then 4 minutes from the warehouse. I can remember the turns we made in the fucking Hyundai. And motherfucker starts driving, and he would say like 10 minutes to stop, or 10 minutes to drop point. He would yell it out. And like, Tommy's like resisting. So they're like hitting him and shit. And so I made a conscious decision. I'm like, ooh, he's resisting. I'll stay compliant. Mm-hmm. Let's play off this. Let's see where this goes. That'll also probably get a little better for me too. Yeah, so right. I'm like, I feel like I'll let him be. It's his channel.
Yeah, he's better for the role anyway. You know what I mean? I'm not really that kind of guy.
Listen, I'll be the Joe Pesci. You be De Niro. That's kind of thing. So I go very quiet, and I'm just listening, and like there were a few times I was trying not to laugh because it's funny, like listening to him, and then like his lifelong best friend is pounding his head into the fucking into the metal, and like Tommy G is 0% body fat. He's jujitsu, like well trained. He was a world class, borderline national champion collegiate wrestler.
Juiced, obviously, on a bunch of steroids.
Zero.
No, he's
zero,
juiced,
bro.
I'm starting the rumor right now.
He's not juiced at all. But like,
people think I'm on steroids, so I have to always, put other people.
They think you're really?
Yeah, dude, come on. A lot of people think that. A lot, right? I mean, people that watch the show.
They think you're on steroids?
Yes, dude. They comment every episode. They're like, dude, Mark's obviously juicing. Come on, dude. Fucking. It's neither here nor there, but a lot of people say that, so I just throw that out there.
Anyway, but, so he's like, he's having fun with it. Like, he's not, when they're slamming him down, he's not, like, in pain or anything like that. You can tell, like, he's like, oh, this is kind of crazy, blah, blah. Like, he's into it. So Andy keeps yelling. Then he would yell, like, 5 minutes out. And in my head, I was running clicks, and it wasn't perfect. I wasn't counting to 60 because other things were going on. But I'm like, no. That was, I think we were just driving for like 8 minutes. He said 10 minutes, like, where I could see the times are different.
And that's a part of it again.
Yeah, they're fucking with you.
They're trying to fuck with your sense of time.
Yes, so between the 5 minute and 2 minute, it was like a good 7 minutes or something like that. And then at 2 minutes, it took at least another 5. And there was a minute before we got there, he slammed on the brakes and our bodies went, and like, I can't remember if our heads hit the thing. If it did, it wasn't hard, but it was like, God damn it. And then I remember the garage, the little fucking like drop zone of the warehouse. It's like a single cell drop off garage that has the big wall on the back that then you step out of the back, like right up onto it. And like he maneuvered it in there. He didn't go like too fast, but like you could feel like the K turn, like back, garage shut. And you're like, oh. So they moved Tommy first. It's kind of leave me there. And I don't think anyone's on me. We can look at the tape, but I'm pretty sure I'm just like lying there, zip tied. And he's like resisting, but I can't really tell what he's doing. They take him somewhere. Obviously, they take him around the corner. At the time, I can't see anything. So then they're like, all right, get up. And again, I'm compliant. So I get up, they tell me like where to step up because I can't really see, and they have 2 guys on me, and they bring me around the corner, and then they go like stand me in a corner outside the elevator shaft and like just have me look into the corner, like, regular little mind tricks. Tommy, they flatten out and put on the ground because he was resisting, and they like slam him down, which definitely had to be like kind of painful. And so again, I'm like just compliant.
Now again, is there a safe word at this point? Like,
yes.
Okay.
His was blueberry muffin. Mine was cupcake.
Nice.
Yeah. So
and if you said that at any point, you'd be done.
Right. Even if I said like, all right, stop, like they were gonna stop.
Right.
But like I guess for the content, it was like, what's the gayest word we can have for the out?
Yeah.
So then they bring me in the elevator with him. They bring us up, and I have my cutoff on and my hoodie. And I'm compliant. I get in the chair, they zip tie me in the back, and then they zip tie my feet to the chair. They bring Tommy in, he's resisting, they immediately put him on his knees, cut off his shirt. It was like a zip off, and again, I can kind of see just enough through. Yeah, you can see me sitting there. I can see just enough through the hood with, like, dude, the lighting. They had one solo
It's
light
great.
right there
It's
and
perfect.
then one floodlight in the back. Miguel lit the room so perfectly. So I could see just enough to see, oh, they're zipping. They're like cutting this motherfucker off. So they get him down to like his underwear, and that's it. And leave the hood on, obviously. Then they get him on. And I don't know how long. I'd have to look at the raw tape. I don't know how long like the rounds were. It was going to be in rounds throughout the day, which we didn't know, but I can afterwards. Obviously, I know. So I'll tell you how that worked in a minute. But like, they just start fucking with us. I'm not saying anything. They would come up behind me, you know, push my head down, little things. Everything feels exaggerated. So you're not in pain.
Interesting.
But like when a dude out of nowhere silently comes up behind you and goes like this, you're like,
Yeah.
you know?
And there's also like a little party that like if that just happened in the world, you'd be like, what the fuck is that? And so everything in your brain is telling you like, oh, like stop it, turn around, push the guy, whatever. And it's all getting stopped. So like your brain is just getting broken down, it seems like. Just by the little things.
Exactly.
Yeah.
And you don't, it's weird. It's not a flinch mechanism. It's something else entirely. It's like the same family, but it's not like, you're not like, it's more like, what the fuck? Like, you're like, I don't know, maybe like you're on drugs in a way.
Yeah.
Like something similar. Obviously not the same thing.
Well,
But
obviously if your sight is cut off, like your air is a little bit cut off, like all of a sudden your other senses are kind of compensating. Your senses you're normally using are completely reduced, so now things feel different. Like that seems completely logical.
Yes. So then eventually they get us in the seats and everything gets quiet. And I can see, like, just enough make out that all the cameramen are, like, right there. And people are dead quiet. And this is where it got crazy, bro. I told you how perfect this place was as a setting. There's one thing that I didn't even know before we got in there, but we found out. The railroad track for the city, the old railroad track, ran directly behind and around the building. So the second we sit down and get silent, it was like the scene in The Godfather. Like we're in the middle of this giant space. And then if you can picture it, you see where we're sitting right there. To my right, so all the way back there, I'm sitting like this. To my right, it's just all darkness and open space. And then there's a stairway hatch that looked like a horror movie, right? And then to my left, there's the giant elevator hatch, and on the end there you can walk on either side of it and get to the other side, and there's a bunch of blown out windows and shit. Like they're cracked, they're musty, like you can barely see through some of them, and they're like lit in different ways, and the sun is coming from that angle. So in that back part, there's natural light. But that's where the train track runs. So that it gets quiet in there. We're sitting in the seats. Everyone is like in perfect quiet. And then you just hear and you hear like the windows suddenly like shaking and shit. And apparently Miguel was like,
whoa,
cinema, everyone stop. Like I didn't see any of that, but he was like, oh.
Because you guys had no idea there was a train track. So now in your brain, you're like, what the fuck
I'm
was
like,
that?
yeah, no. Again, that ego thought is there because it's like, I can't let Andy break me for clout. But
of course.
What the fuck are we going to be doing?
Yeah.
Then where it got, it's a different feeling than being like scared because you know it can stop at any point. When you're scared of something, this is how I've like kind of rationalized it. When you're scared of something, it's the unknown of like, I don't know when this thing is going to end or how it's going to turn out.
Yeah.
This was much more of a helpless feeling. Like, oh, fuck. Because I know I got to last a while, but I don't know what's coming, and this might really suck. And where it really went from like an 8 to a 10 was once the train subsided and Andy opened his mouth. So, like, you've seen the first scene in Zero Dark 30 with Jason Clarke torturing the fucking guy on the floor and, you know, when you lie, I hurt you, you know. I hurt. And, like, I like Jason Clarke. He's a great actor. It's a great fucking movie. He did a great job. But, like, that's how you expect a torture guy to be. Like, screaming in your face. All right, buddy, relax. When someone walks in and their vocal tone is, like, controlled. It's just, Andy walked in, he goes something along the lines of, it's been a while, but he was like, gentlemen, you're going to be in pain today. But that pain can stop. You see that facial expression right there, that little psycho? Like, that pain is entirely up to you. It can stop at any time. All you have to do is answer the questions we give you, and we'll let you go. And it was just so like, oh no.
Yeah,
because
the
like
control is scarier.
I know Andy so well because like I've known him for a lot of years. We've talked a lot on air. Obviously, we've talked a lot off air. He's a very complicated character. He's a dude who I still think is probably in CIA in some capacity for sure. Tell him that all the time, you know. But I have a lot of empathy for who he is, right? Which includes his flaws.
Mm-hmm.
And he has some innate abilities through his own traumas of life to be able to flip a switch, which I have no doubt, obviously, in the things he was able to accomplish while at CIA. You know, I'm just saying. Like, he's saying, yeah, I left in 2014. Sure he did, pal. But anyway, you know, he's only like talking to top Fortune 100 companies to the C-suites to get him his clients for no reason at all, right? He just enjoys spying. Anyway, so,
after seeing this footage, I believe whatever he says. Okay?
Yeah.
Whatever he wants me to think
Yeah.
is what I think.
Yeah, but like I could hear that thing in his voice, and I had heard it a handful of times. Like I remember when I did episode 107 with him, and that was the second time we talked. It was back at my parents' house, end of June 2022, and there was a point like 41 minutes in there. We're talking about fucking good versus bad, good versus evil, how nothing's 100%, nothing's 0%, and then we're going back and forth, ironically, about torture and whether or not we should do it. And you can kind of see it on camera, but I don't think you could possibly appreciate it without having been there in the fucking room with him, talking with him over whiskey about this. But this fucking look went in his eyes that was just like, think of a 1,000-yard stare that actually has an endpoint, and that endpoint is meant to inflict death just by the stare itself. That's what that was. And like, I was going on and on about something because we were a little lit. And he's like, you talk about that terrorist? I've lived that. You talk about that dude who put a baby in a microwave just to watch it fucking burn? I've seen that. And like, I was like, whoa.
Yeah, you
right?
got it, dude.
Yeah. I was like, please continue. That was a similar, that tonality, that octave
It
was
kicks
right
in.
where this was.
And you're remembering all this.
And I'm remembering that in the moment. And I'm like, oh,
shit.
okay. So Tommy, God bless him, entertainer. All right. About that life. Good friend. Well done, Tom. Tom is shit talking with him.
Yeah.
And at this point, it is not voluntary for me to be compliant. I am now, you know that plan I had to be compliant for like the entertainment value?
Yeah.
I'm being compliant for survival value now.
Yeah.
There's no like, this is not like a difficult thing. I'm like, you know, he's already cut down to his fucking underwear. Like, if I say one thing, that's probably me next. What are they gonna do to him while he's just skin out here in this fucking cold, dirty warehouse with AIDS on the floor? Like, I don't know.
Yeah.
So I'm just like, all right, let's just get through this day. So the whole first round, whatever it was, 40 minutes, 50 minutes, something like that, they're just fucking with us, right? So they're putting Tommy in like the transit position where they would put him down. No, not yet, Christos. That's round 2. Go back. Right there. Yeah, right there. That's good. So they would put him down in this transit position where you can see that his hands are basically all bound where his feet are. I don't want to move all this chair and fuck all this up. But I will say it's not comfortable.
Yeah.
We're going to do stress positions later, though, as it would turn out. This was the one you could last the longest in. It's not comfortable, but you're like, if I needed to last an hour in this, I could.
Which is a part of it.
Right.
Like, they want it to be endurable to an extent.
Right. That's actually perfect, Christos, right there. So this is what they would do. They'd be talking with him. He'd be fucking with them. They'd just leave me zip-tied at the feet regular and zip-tied behind, and they would come up and, like, push my head back or shit like that when I can't see it coming.
Just randomly.
Randomly. And then at one point, fucking Psycho Trevor dude, who, that's a perfect shot as well, the contrast right there. Incredible lighting, Miguel.
Yeah.
Just shout out to Miguel for the lighting. But, like, you know, he was so in it and scary, and you could feel it. Like, his breath was controlled, everything. So at some point, he starts, like, he comes up behind me, and I have my finger, I'm zip-tied, and he starts moving my fingers like this, like one by one. And in my head, I'm going, oh, no, I didn't sign up to get my fingers broke. I need those. No, don't break. But I'm not saying this, but in my head, I'm like, no, don't break my finger. I'm compliant. Turns out he had wrapped the zip tie so tight. Now, I didn't care. It seemed normal to me. That the blood wasn't getting to my hands. So he even called, I didn't even know this. He called the nurse over at one point and she was doing it. And she was like, he's good. Which listen.
Where's this nurse?
I don't know about that nurse. She said everything was good all day. It felt like it was a predetermined answer. But anyway, so he was like, okay. Like he told me that later. I didn't know that at the time. But every time I'm like, oh, fuck, is he going to do it this time? Like, I need that middle finger. Yeah. I'm right-handed.
My girlfriend's favorite finger.
No, yeah.
Oh, come on. You're going to break 2 hearts.
So anyway, he doesn't break my fingers, and I'm being compliant. Tommy's not. And eventually they're like pushing him off the fucking chair and whatever. And, putting him in a new position. And then they would like pull up my shirt and like slap me. It wasn't. Like, it sounds way worse. They had good mics. It sounds way worse on camera. What's bad about it is you don't know it's coming. So you're like, oh. But, like, it wasn't, like, painful. It was just, like, like that. And when I do it, I expect that. I know what it is. When you're not doing it, it's like a weird sensation. But I was so locked in that I'm just like, don't react to anything. Right. Which apparently he was like concerned. He told me after, he's like, we like hit him and he wouldn't do anything. We're like, is he good? Like, he got pulse? All right, he's good.
Now, in an actual scenario, the slaps would have been harder?
I think so.
Okay.
Sure.
That's what I presume. Sure. Or like with like a little like, baton or something to actually like make you feel it, whatever.
Yeah. I would say, well, I mean, I've never been abducted and tortured by the CIA, but I gotta think if they're hitting you when you're not looking, it's a full-blown, like when your mom was really mad at you when you were 9 and thought because you're a guy and she's a woman, it's okay.
Seems like a very specific example.
That much. Hey, listen, that's the Italian side. But like that, like they're definitely doing that to these guys.
Also,
they were not doing that.
You said the DP was Miguel? What was his name?
Miguel, that's Tommy's aficionado.
It could have helped you with the coloring here. You know what I mean? Like, you're a pale guy, but like this is like, it's very pasty.
So here's the thing, and it was crazy because then I got tan like a week later. I'm like, God, that was a little late.
Right?
But I'll show you a video. The lighting, the way they had the 2 lights was such that if you were on the left side, everything was like 58, 5900 Kelvin, like pasty ass white. But if you were on the right side, look at the lighting.
Look, a lot of explaining here.
See how tan I am?
No, you're pretty pasty in this, dude. I'll be honest. You are white, bro.
I'm gonna give that to Christos because that's a lie. I look like Christos.
No, this video's not gonna come through. But you are pasty.
I'm not in
that. Oh my goodness!
Look at that!
Look how pale you are,
bro.
Blind? You are so pale.
Hold that up.
You're fully Irish. You're 100% Irish, dude. You are.
Look at that.
Dude, can we lower the lights in here? We should lower the lights. I'm afraid he's gonna get sunburned. For real.
Look at the lighting on that.
We need to put sunscreen on him because I do think he's gonna get burned.
And I also got like fucking 5 tints past that, even still at this point.
No,
Jesus
you're
Christ.
pale, dude. Damn.
Anyway, so the lighting's like, look at how tan his head is right there.
Yeah, but he's a tan guy.
No, he's more to the right.
He's Samoan. He's
see
Samoan
where the lights
or something.
hitting his head?
He's Polynesian, I think.
See where the lights hitting his head on just off left to center?
Tan.
So then it's tan on the right side.
And somehow you are a ghost. I'm just saying, it's just weird that they did the coloring like that. I'm on your side.
Look at the left hand and the right hand of the guy behind me.
Yeah, exactly.
Tan out of the light, white in the light. See that?
I don't know, dude.
And he was a tan dude.
I don't know.
I'm getting attacked here. I don't like this.
I'm just saying. I'm saying he did you wrong in the coloring. Okay.
Listen, the coloring was fine.
Thank you, Chris.
The coloring was fine.
We're gonna lower the lights in here that way you can feel comfortable.
Yeah, I mean, Jesus Christ. But anyway, so like this was all like manageable. It's just like you don't know what's coming next. So you are helpless the whole time. You're just like, all right, right now it's fine. What's in a minute?
Yeah.
But I'm not saying anything. And then at some point, like I said, they hit Tommy over, and there's a video of it on Instagram where Andy just leans up to him because he's in transit, so he's not attached to the chair anymore. And Andy goes, "Are you still with us?" And just goes like this, like lightly, like this. And Tommy goes and flops like a fish. He's like, "I'm still here," and then comes back up, and I'm just. And this is the worst part. Like, I'm trying not to laugh.
Yeah.
Because, like, he's funny, bro.
Yeah.
Like,
I'm just saying you laugh, you're fucked.
That's what I'm saying. I'm like, don't laugh. Just think about something not funny.
But the way you describe Tommy is he just sounds like the Joker. Like
yeah.
You're not gonna break me.
No, that like Tommy is about it. So they do this for a while, and then they're like, all right, get him up. So they get us up, and they take us back by where the windows are. And then they take us to the windows. If you cut to the beginning, Christos, there's a shot of it in the intro. I don't think it really matters that much, but there's a shot of it in the intro where they pull our hoods up. And so they stick us down on 2 buckets, and they take our hoods off. They leave us zip tied, and they're all standing back by the windows, the whole crew. There's 2 cameras going, and Andy and Trevor are there, and they're very serious, but they're not angry.
Mm-hmm.
They're like, okay, guys, we're off right now. So the point is, in each of these rounds, we're going to get your reaction afterwards, live in the moment, so it can be realistic. We're going to ask you questions. We'll be nice to each other. And then when you guys are ready, we're going to go back into it. And we're like, okay. I realized when they take the hood off, like, you can see my face when they take it off for the first time. I was like...
That's just...
I was so... Christos with the ads. I was so fucking like...
The reflection off your thighs was blinding you.
And like Tommy's looking at me like this. And I'm just like... yeah. And we're asking... They start asking questions. And your voice is just low. So, because they didn't play a lot of that interview. But your voice is low. And they would ask me a question. I'd be like, it was really tiring. Like that. And I wasn't trying to talk low. I just was. And I was like, oh, wow. So I thought about that because I'm like, all right, next time I come back here, just like whatever I think, if the decibels I think are at 18, they're really at like minus 27, get that bitch up to like 10.
Is that another psychological thing that they talk to you slowly and low to get you to like mirror?
I don't want to say yes or no. I don't know. What I can tell you is that they wanted it to be... Yeah, you can see me right there. That was right when they took the hood off for the first time. I was like, what the fuck? And they wanted it to be, actual, real dialogue and answers, like analytically of people who were in it.
Mm-hmm.
So we did that. Maybe it's like 5 minutes, 10 minutes, hard to say, somewhere in there. And they're like, all right, you ready? I'm like, yeah. So they stick our hoods back on. They pick us up. They're like, get him back there. And they bring us back into the chairs. Tommy starts resisting right away. They're like, undo his zip ties. So like 4 guys go around him. He's like, and he would like resist, like while they're... I'm like, Tom,
dude, stop. We get it, dude.
I'm like, but it's like they're like, all right, secure. All right, zip tie off. All right, zip tie secure in the back. And they're like doing it like military style. I'm like, wow, they're not taking any chance. Oh, this was the best part. I forgot this. When we're in the room early before this all starts, there's a video of this, of Tommy and I talking to each other. I can give it to you if you want, Christos. But it was when Dre came back there. He started rolling the camera after he got out of the bathroom. And Tommy's laying on the ground, and I'm talking to him, and he's like, yeah, I want to figure out how to escape today. I feel like we could do it. And Dre starts rolling the camera, and I'm like, are you fucking stupid? We're not escaping. Do you see how many guys are out there? We're going to be zip-tied and hooded. There's no escaping. And he's like, well, they don't know. I got a little shake with me. And he whips out like a nail. And I'm like, Tom.
You're going to stab your friend?
I'm like, Tom, it's content. All right? Like, the guy's got a family. We can get out at any point. Like, you wouldn't have a nail when you go in. Why would you have a nail when you get... That would imply you knew you were getting abducted. Who the fuck carries around a nail? He's like, well, what if I'm Tom Cruise in Mission Impossible and the Epstein files? I found them. And I'm like, so you'd have a fucking... No, you'd have a Swiss Army knife. You'd have a fucking pocket knife. You'd have something normal that... He's like, well, you don't know what normal is. And I'm like, no, I'm telling you, that doesn't work. And he's like, all right, well, how about you keister this and we'll talk about it later. So he hands it to me, and I immediately chuck it back. I'm like, anyway... You're not going to have a nail going back there because you're not knowing that you're abducted. You just got to go with the flow. We're not escaping, whatever. And he's like, oh, yeah, Brad Pitt. I'm like, it doesn't matter. This is not an act in that way. Like,
Put it in your ass.
Real.
Put the nail in your ass.
There's no stunt doubles here. So anyway, that's on cat. That was kind of funny.
But, I mean, that's also hilarious if at some point Bustamante gets stabbed and he's like, what the fuck? Why is this a part of this for you? Where'd you get that from? He's like, I got 7 more in my ass.
You made me bleed my own blood.
What's up, guys? We're going to take a break really quick because you need help pitching your tents. Yes, and that's what we do over here at camp. Maybe you're, I don't know, in line waiting for a concert somewhere and you just need something to lean on. Who knows? Maybe you just need help pleasing the special man or woman in your life. And that's why I want to talk to you guys about Blue Chew. Blue Chew is the ultimate service to get you discreet supplements right to your home. And what do these supplements do? They give you that leg, that third leg, the important one. And Blue Chew is going to help you lay it down, okay? It's an amazing service that's coming straight to your door. And for the listeners of this very program, they are going to get their first month of Blue Chew for free. All you need to use is the promo code GAGNON, GAGNON, and you'll have them gagging. You know what I'm talking about? You know what I'm saying, my boy. So go to bluechew.com and try the promo code GAGNON, GAGNON, and you're going to get your first month free. All you got to do is pay $5 for shipping. That's like a coffee, okay? So to skip your morning cold brew and instead get that hard brew for an entire month. Yes, that is at bluechew.com. Use the promo code GAGNON and start laying it down like they deserve. Let's get back to the show.
So I'm just, while they're doing this, I'm thinking like this motherfucker really thought like he might escape. We might escape early. There's like 4 dudes holding him down just to do a zip tie. So they get him and then they slam his ass like on the hardwood floor. And this is not, I mean, hardwood floors aren't that comfortable. I slept on them before, you know, like I was an only child. You had to take what you could get, but like not like this one. This had, I mean, a lot of soot. It had nails everywhere. It had splinters sticking up out of it. It was like uneven. Like, I mean, the Amish did not make this. It was not smooth at all. It was very, yeah, it was a poor job. But anyway, so he's down there and Andy, yeah, you see it. That was when he pushed him off the chair, I think.
Yeah.
So then they carry him over there. They slam him down and Andy just fucking, you hear like buckets in the back. He's like slapping buckets. And he goes, I'd really like to get to lunch or some shit like that. And he starts walking the bucket forward and he had a bag of ice. And so he takes the ice, he throws the bag of ice down, and then he takes the water that has ice in it and dumps it on Tommy. He's like, and this was the worst part. Like, when you're, as you'll see later, when you're reacting to things that are actually like happening, you let out like a guttural primal sound. It's like if someone like does something painful to you, as what happened later, I'm like, or like shit like that. It's like, it's not planned. You're like, oh, wow.
Yeah, that was in me.
I was there. I was in there somewhere. That was not like a deadlift sound. That was like you getting deadlifted sound. Yeah. So Tommy would react, and he's doing his guttural thing, but his guttural sound is, like that. And I'm just like, oh my God.
Like he's a Spider-Man journalist or something.
He's like the water comes down. He's like,
wait, can we get audio on this? I hope Tommy doesn't clip us, but let's see if we can play.
So funny. So I'm like, oh, don't. Oh, they put the fan down too. And he's like, ah. And so I'm just like, don't laugh. And he keeps shit talking him still.
Really?
And so, like, most of that is cut from this because they, you know, as far as the actual documentary where we show things in this, 15 minutes of it is showing the stuff. We were doing this for 6 hours.
Fuck.
Right? So all the back and forth and dialogue, build up, all that's cut. I'll show you the raw footage when you come over. It's gnarly. So, like, he's down there a while, which, by the way, they lied to him about that. That was nasty.
That is so interesting.
We're going to get to that later. He was, like, really broken up about that, too, because he's like, no way. He felt like a bitch for a minute, and he was telling me, I'll get to that, but he was telling me later, I'm like, Tom, no, you were down there for a long fucking time. So anyway, they put him down there, they're dumping it on him like that, and I'm trying not to laugh, and he keeps shit talking him, and at one point, I'm like, Tom, you just gotta, and as I say, like, gotta or something like that, I hear, whoom,
bam,
and I, like, unfazed, like, I was phased, but I was just like, you just gotta let it happen. I finished the line. And they were definitely back there like, what the fuck? Like, you're supposed to not finish the line now. But I like finished the line. I'm like, all right, well, let's not do that again. So then he wouldn't, what they were asking, by the way, for people is like, Tommy called me when I was getting on the plane the day before, and he's like, all right, we got to come up with 3 secrets apiece they're trying to get out of us. So you think of like a cartel guy or something like that. So I think of these things. I'm like, this is like a little complicated because we're making it up. It's not real, but we're basing it off of real people. And so then when in the morning, Andy was like, we're not doing that. It's going to be like, what's the capital of the United States? What's 1 + 1? Your job is to just give the wrong answer. Which, of course, when we first sat down and Andy started talking after he gave that initial speech that was creepy, he says to Tommy, he goes, so the only question I have for you, Tommy, and you can make the stop right now, is what is 1 + 1? And Tommy's like, 1 + 1? He's like, yeah. He goes, 2. I'm like, what the fuck are you supposed to say? Andy was unfazed, though. He didn't react. He was just like, 1 + 1. You say it's 2. That's a very interesting answer. You know, I gotta know though. What it was 1 + 2, 3. That's what it was. He goes, what? So what is 1 + 2? And I'm like, Tom's like, 4. I'm like, all right, that's better.
Nice.
So
we're
back on track. But there was a minute where Andy's like, wow, that was fast.
Don't commit a crime with Tommy G.
Jesus Christ.
He'll just accidentally tell them the answer.
So Andy keeps asking him these questions, and Tommy's like, 5. Or better yet, he's like, fuck you.
Yeah.
Like, and he's zip tied fully, like ice pack on it. Eventually they had an ice pack on his back.
Mm-hmm.
And here's the thing, people. This is what you can't really, especially from the documentary, what you can't really appreciate. Tommy, his entire hood is soaked.
Of course. You got
Okay.
water dumped all over.
Forget that it's cold water and ice water, and forget the fact that they're pushing all the ice up against him to fillet him like a fish before you're going to grill it. When you have a hood soaked, and I, of course, didn't Google any of this ahead of time. That would have been nice. Scientifically speaking, once it's soaked or even like damp, every breath you take, no matter, or doesn't matter, it comes back into your mouth and nose, and it creates a sensation of you cannot breathe. So they have Tommy, they would come up and turn his head in a stress position. He's lying in the water, like trying to not drown in the little bit of seepage water right there. And I haven't had any of this happen to me yet. So I'm like, holy shit. I hear him. And you just see, like I can see just through the mask, you can see that the man is coming in, and he's down there for a while, and they keep shit talking him. So I don't know how long it took to get to this part, but at one point I feel Andy come over by me, and I can't really see him, but because they have my head down like this, I'm like, yeah. And he's like, all right, Tommy, what is the answer to 1 + 2? And he's like, 7. And then they take the water and dump it on me, and they're like, you hear that? Your partner's going to start suffering now when you give a wrong answer. And I didn't say, like, Tom, just keep giving the wrong answer. I'm like, Tom's a gangster. He's good. He's not going to give a right answer. We'll let this keep going. It's fine. I'll start sharing the load here. Pause. But anyway, so, then they would ask him, and then they'd slap me. And now the slaps were a little harder. But again, like, to your question earlier, they would have been way harder if this were a real situation. I wouldn't even describe it as 50%.
But psychologically, what's interesting is that Tommy doesn't know how hard you're getting slapped. So
That's true.
The whole point is that, like, hey, everything you do, someone else is now going to suffer.
Right.
So you're suffering, and now you're inflicting suffering on someone else. Psychologically, it's fucking with you, and he doesn't know if you're getting the shit punched out of you. Like, he doesn't.
Well,
know
he's
idea.
also suffering a lot on
Right.
the ground, which doesn't help. So there's simultaneously two things going on in his head.
Which psychologically is just, like, again, so interesting.
Yes, and they end up positioning the fan right behind him. That's me. That's later, but they end up positioning the fan right behind him. I was like, that's cold, bro. Like, pun intended. That's like nasty. And so then they take the ice and they like sit it on my lap. That was fine. I had shorts on. Like, that wasn't a big deal. So that bought some time because they're like, oh, that's something. It didn't feel like
Whatever.
anything. But you can hear his breathing getting denser and denser. And it's been a while. And so eventually, I think they dumped on him again. And then they didn't have this in the documentary, but you can see it on tape. There was one close-up shot. Jack had some fucking unbelievable shots throughout the day, but he had a close-up shot where you can just see it, and it's like, there's no air in there.
Yeah.
It's like time to go. So Andy goes, Tommy, what is 1 + 2? And you just hear Tommy go, 1 + 2? Fuck it, 3.
Wow.
And then they're like, get him up, get him up, get him up. So they get him up. They undo his zip tie, whatever. And they're like, is he good? Is he good? Oh, before all this, at one point in the middle, there was like silence after they dumped shit on him. And then like, you don't hear anything, but it's like, shh, or something like that. And you just hear like the nurse come over. Like, and I see her like bending down over his corpse. And she like does like a pulse thing, and she goes, "He's good." And I'm like, what the
Where
fuck?
did you
He's
go to
not
school? Where did
He's
you
not
learn this?
good. But anyway, so they get him back, and the Andy takes the ice pack and now pulls up my shirt and puts it in the back.
Which is kind of nice. You have a sore back.
That's exactly what I was thinking, because now I'm going to be back here for whatever 10, 15 minutes as it would turn out. But that wasn't so bad. So I'm just sitting here, just zip tied to the chair with the ice. I thought someone was there, but I'm pretty sure when I looked at the tapes, because they moved all the cameras, that they literally left me there. There might have been one dude back there watching, but I'm zip tied at the feet and the hands. Like I'm not going anywhere. So unlike Tommy, there's no escaping happening here. So they go back there. I can't hear anything. I like can vaguely hear talking, but it's low. And then after whatever it was, 10, 15 minutes, I hear, and they all start walking back in. And I hear all the cameras getting set up, and that would throw you off. It's like fucking Al Jazeera setting up for the beheading. And I'm like, I could just imagine, like, this is actually like kind of serious, but you're like imagining some of these guys who have been captured
Did you
before.
put yourself there? Were you like, oh, fuck.
Like, I think I did that afterwards. I don't think I was doing that during, but like when I was thinking about this afterwards, I'm like, God, this gotta be so unnerving. Like, you're about to have your head cut off for, Allah or something.
Yeah.
And you just hear like, all right, beep. Like the beeps of the cameras and the movements of like a tripod, like it's a YouTube video. Like that's gotta be the most...
They stop it, you know what I mean?
Yeah, they're like, all right, wait,
bring in
pause.
the floodlight.
I need the 256. This is a 128.
Yeah.
It's like, hold the knife.
Yeah.
And like fucking Jamal back there's like, all right, no problem. And then
And Osama, do the ad read. Come on.
Right,
Come on. Give a shout out to BetterHelp or whatever.
So anyway, so they all come in, and then I don't know Tommy's there. Tommy's now there. And they were, dude, Andy, I saw this on the Raws afterwards. He's finishing interviewing Tommy, and he got Tommy dejected because he lied to him and said, Tommy was like, how long was I down there? He goes, 3 minutes. He's like, 3 minutes? He couldn't even, but he was down there. I went and looked at the tape. I called him like the next week. I'm like, dude, you're down there for 15 minutes.
Wow.
It's like he lied to you on camera, which I guess was to like fuck with him. He's like, that's fucked up.
But at this point, Tommy's out of the exercise.
He's out of the exercise. So
do you think the exercise is also over because you're like, all right, well, we did, we got the information.
No, I'm like, I'm next. And I knew it because they left me there like this, and they took him back. And I'm like, well, this is not going to.
Are you thinking it's going to be a different thing than what he went through?
I think I was thinking I was just going to have the same thing happen, and it was probably going to be the same ending at some point. It's like, all right, just don't let him break you for clout right away.
Because now you're also thinking about Tommy. You're like, I got to last longer than him.
I didn't know how long, he got dumped on so many times. It was more a matter of like, this needs to happen multiple times.
Yeah.
If they're going to do the same exact thing. And then at some point when it feels like it's a similar time to what he had, we'll bail. That's it.
Do you meditate?
A little. I'm not great at it.
Mm-hmm.
I used to not be able to do it at all. I think you asked me that the last time I was here. I was like, I've never been able to do it. I do it a little bit now. I'll do it in between sets at the gym.
Right.
That's when I meditate.
So now when you're in this situation, are you trying to put yourself into like a calm state? You're like, okay, let me lower my nervous system. Let me breathe. Like,
when I heard them coming back, there was a thought that was like, game on. Because again, I'm like, I just got to I'm thinking, all right, it's probably going to be like the same thing. Maybe it's not, but I'm like telling myself, hoping, because now I at least know what to expect. It'll be the same thing. It seemed like it was about 15 minutes to me, which I turned out to be right about. I think it was like 13 or 14 minutes total that he was down there on the ground being dumped on. So I'm like, all right, let's try to last a similar time, entertainment value, get Miguel what he needs, and we'll get the fuck out of here on this part. And God knows what they're going to do this afternoon. Because we're like, we know this is going for like another 3-4 hours after this. So they come back, and I hear them all coming back. And Andy, when they were interviewing Tommy after the 3-minute lie, he was like dejected. Because he felt like, I only lasted 3 minutes. It's crazy. It's like someone saying, like, you couldn't get your dick up or something.
It's like someone saying you only lasted 3 minutes.
Yeah, right.
Like,
or like, he's like, he lasted 11 seconds. It's like some hot chick. You're like, damn it, But Andy's talking with him, and he's on the bucket, and he's like a little dejected. I'm seeing this later on the footage. And Andy's like, when you break, it's compliance. When you give in, it's compliance. When you tell us what we want to hear, it's compliance. And Tommy's just like, eh. And then he's like, why don't you come with me? Let's go see your friend Julian. And the camera turns off, and Andy, dude took 0 takes all day. He was, from the moment we started to the moment we ended, he never had a take. He was on for the full 6-7 hours. On. So as the camera beeps and Andy's starting to walk around, he goes, turn the camera back on. I want his reaction when he sees Julian. He's directing the fucking thing. Psycho, bro. So they get multiple angles on Tommy, and it looks pretty badass because, like, Tommy's jacked, bro.
Yeah.
So they're following him like fucking Bane with the natural lighting coming in from, it's not in the documentary, I'll show you later, but the natural lighting coming in, and they all come around, and then it like Jack cuts in the camera to me while they're all walking in. I'm just, sitting there like an asshole like this. But it's like they all get quiet, and they all look around, and they all start standing there like this. And then Andy walks around, and then Jack gets the camera up. And this part now I remember, he's like, Julian, you haven't given us the correct answer to our questions yet today. And so he comes up behind me, and then Fortner comes up behind me, fucks with my head, like puts it down. And he goes, we can all make this stop. Obviously, you saw what just happened to Tommy or something like that. So just answer my question and it'll all be over, and, you can get comfortable. What is the capital of the United States? And I'm like this in a hoodie, and I just immediately go, or before that, he said, you never answer our question, and they're pushing me down. I go, you never asked. and then I come back up, and he goes, so what is the capital of the United States? And I'm like, Guadalajara. It's just like, I was like, what's the most retarded thing I could say? And I don't know why that was in my head. I couldn't point to Guadalajara on the map. I know it's in like Costa Rica or some shit. Whatever. Mexico, some cartels there. And so he goes, that is not correct. What is the capital of the United States? And at this point, again, nothing feels like it's smooth, so I couldn't appreciate this till after. When I was watching it, you just see me because I'm in a hood. I can't really see him, but I'm sitting there like this. He goes, what is the capital of the United States? And there's like a pause, and I go, Guadalajara. And nod like this, and then look back forward. I was like, that was pretty good. But then he's like, oh, God damn it. So they come down. He and Trevor and the guards put me in transit position like they had Tommy. Not for long. A minute, maybe something like that. Like, not even enough to say, like, wow, this is uncomfortable. It was just like, all right, what are they doing? And so Andy and Trevor kneel down behind me. This is about 4 minutes into them starting to work on me now. And again, nothing's really happened. I just haven't answered their questions, and it's whatever. And Andy goes, all right. I had heard something come behind me. And when I saw the tape later, he was pointing to the guards and going like this. And they brought a wrestling mat behind me. I didn't know what it was. But they leaned down next to my chair, and before, it's like at the 27-minute mark, Christos, I think, I want to say. A little bit before that. No, like 25. A little bit before that. 23 and a half, maybe. Like they lean over my chair, and he goes, all right, it doesn't matter. One more try. And they're like, what is the capital of the United States? My hands are like this because I'm in transit now. And I'm down here. I'm like, Guadalajara. And then he goes, and they flip me over onto the thing. Now, it wasn't like hard. They just flipped it over. The chair folded. My zip tie somewhere broke. But like, you're like an infant. It's right there. Yeah.
Can we roll this?
Right there, Christos. You're on it.
Yeah.
Press play. So it's not hard.
Right.
You go right onto a map. But you feel like an infant. You're like, because you don't know where anything is.
You don't know that the mat's there.
You don't even know. Yeah,
So
but
that's them being nice.
It was comfortable when I landed on it,
Yeah.
but I'm like, I don't know where I am or what this is. Is this like a fucking BDSM torture chamber? Like, I have no fucking idea. And so then Trevor gets down and he starts fucking with me, like, pause, but like gets on top, and then, you see they cross my legs like that, and they immediately pull up my whole shirt. They throw down the ice, and then they started with water bottles or something. Like, he comes over and he goes, do you know that 23% of countries around the world don't have workable drinking water? And I was like, I think he told me that once, as he's dumping water on me, and then they dump the ice, they rip open the ice, they start filleting it down into me, and then they bring over the bucket, and they dump the bucket. And this is where I went, oh, fuck. Because when I got on, they started with the water bottle there, you see it. When I got on the mat, I was like, all right, great, I'm on a mat. And then once the bucket came down, they put the fan down. That's them putting the ice. I think they already put the bucket.
How
No,
bad is
right
the
there.
fan?
The fan sucks.
Really?
Because the fan basically cools everything. So
Yeah.
you're already laying in ice. But what happened was there was nowhere for the water to escape. I'm on a mat. It's one of those folding wrestling
it's all
mats, so
coming
it's
in.
closed.
Is that on purpose?
I guess, because it was like a trade-off. Tommy, when he was on the ground, the hardwood floor is way more uncomfortable, right? But the hardwood floor has some seepage, so you're not really laying in a puddle.
This is just a small pool.
This becomes a pool. So they turn my head at first, like when he first got me down there, and then you see him dumping it directly on my hood.
Yeah.
So he dumped the water to make sure my hood was soaked, and then I realized my head is like this, and it was like this at this point, and I'm in a 1/4 inch of water. And if I breathe, I'm drowning. It's like when you hear those stories about like an Alzheimer's patient who drowns in a puddle because they fall and they don't know how to get up.
Yeah.
That's what I was thinking of. My great-grandfather died of that. So I was like, oh, shit.
I mean, you only need like an inch of water to drown. Right? Like if you can't move.
Yeah,
like,
less.
Yeah.
I would say it was well, if you're lying down in the indentation, maybe it's a 1/2 inch.
And you got the mask on.
Right. And so you're breathing it into this part of your mouth. And so I have to hold my head up.
And your hands are still tied.
And your hands are zip tied in front of you. They're down here. And they have the ice tucked in up here. And they just poured water all around you. And now they're pushing all the ice into you. And then the fan is right on you. And then Trevor walks around. I feel him walking around the edge, comes back around, leans down, drinks the water, dumps a little on me, which was kind of cold. He was drinking the water.
It's
and then
sick.
takes my head and does that thing again. Turns it the other way in the stress position and pushes it down.
Now, you kept on saying stress position. I think most people can infer what this is, but could you give more context
It's
on
it's like this. So for me, it's extra stress just because of like what that position does when it has force on it.
And that's
my
a
neck.
declassified CIA tactic where they would basically put you into these stress positions to just make you stressed out.
Right. So he does that, and now I'm in the fucking puddle, and you're breathing like this,
And you're feeling it.
and Andy goes like that. The initial part where they're dumping and doing that, that's a full 3 minutes, right? So now I'm about 7 minutes into this part.
And what are you thinking at this point? Are you like, okay, this is endurable? Like I can do this for a period of time.
I'm like, let's see. I was like competing with myself. I'm like, all right, let's see how long I can last with this. I don't know what the fuck is coming. This is obviously a little different than Tommy. Maybe it'll be easier. You know, like I'm on a mattress, but then I'm in the puddle. I'm like, maybe I would want the hardwood floor right now. I'd suck on the knees, but like this sucks because I'm holding my head like a 1/4 inch off the mat to be able to breathe. Which I don't even know if Trevor knew I was doing that. He might have pushed it down if I did, but he can't really see with the hood. And the hood is soaked. So they rip off my shoes. They're all fucking with me. And Andy goes, all right, I'm going to let you sit with that for a little bit. You can have some thoughts, enjoy the nice cold water or whatever. And, you just holler if you need me. And then he walks back. I don't know this, but he shows the time like to the camera guys and leaves, and they all just capture it. Cameras are rolling, just capturing the whole thing, and it's a few minutes that they leave me there.
How long does it feel? Like about the same time?
I'll tell you why I was almost dead right on all the time, because I had watched that fucking Bin Laden documentary like a couple weeks before, and Rob O'Neill talked about how the guy who like whacked Bin Laden, he talked about how when they were flying to Bin Laden's compound, there was a period where they were going to be in Pakistani airspace and they were afraid they were going to be shot down. Maybe it was like 120 minutes or something. So it was constant fear. And he decided, you know what? I don't want to sit with this, so I'm just going to count. I'm going to count. I'm going to keep counting. And, we'll pass the time that way. And he started at 1 and just worked his way into the thousands. So I started counting in my head, not out loud. I wasn't like 1, 2, but in my head I was like 1, 2, 3. And so I could feel he was, and I figured I was counting off tempo, so it was going to be wrong, but I turned out to be like almost right. I could feel it was like whatever it was. I can't remember, 3 or 4 minutes the first time before he comes back. And he asked me, you know, he's like, not exactly a beach and seashells right there. And I'm like, wouldn't say so. And he's like, so couldn't seashells? I can't hear you through all your shaking. And I was like, wouldn't say so.
Oh, at this point, you're shivering.
Oh, dude, you can't control it. Your whole body. Once I was down, once they poured the initial stuff, you're like that the whole time. I don't know if you can see that enough, but like there's no controlling it.
Because you've been in an ice bath before.
Yeah, but like.
Does this compare? How does it compare?
It's totally different because you're in soaked clothes. You're unaware of what's coming next. And in an ice bath, at least when I've gone in, you're fully submerged to your neck. So you're not as in touch with if there is like shivering happening underneath there, what it is. But when you are a fish out of water, so to speak, and the water's just around you and the ice is around you and your internal body temperature is sinking, you know, I didn't do any research on this before. So it's like in the moment, I'm like, that was dumb. But, you know.
You also didn't know you were going to be basically waterboarding.
Right. So, well, I still didn't know at this point. So I'm like shivering and it sucks. So he comes back and then we have that back and forth. And he's like, what is the capital of the United States? I'm like, I already told you. He's like, all right, you can sit more. So now he's getting frustrated and he waits, whatever it was. I started counting again. And he comes back, stands by me. And then he goes, every country has a capital, Julian. Every country has a capital. And I know you know the capital of the United States. You got that answer for me? And I'm lying there like this. I'm shivering my ass off. And I'm like, I thought it was Guadalajara. Or I'm like, what did I say first? I said, I don't know. I've been telling you the answer. I thought it was Guadalajara or something. He goes, I know. But just tell me the answer, United States, and, you know, we can get you out of here. And I was like, this is where the timing was good. I was like, through the shivers, I'm like, well, obviously it's not Guadalajara. And I don't see this, but Andy's back there. It was the one time all day where he's like kind of smiling. He's like, okay, go on. I'm like, so next best guess, Sioux City. And he's like, God damn it. He's like, I admire your gumption, Mr. Dorey. Oh, what I said to him first when he went down, but it wasn't, this was the funny part. When he knelt down and asked me the capital, and he's like, you give me the wrong answer. And I was like, well, I'm from New Jersey, and we're fucking retarded. So I don't know. I thought it was Guadalajara. That's exactly what I said. And he smiled. That was the first time he smiled. I fucked that up. Sorry. That was the first time he smiled. And he goes, I'm not arguing with your opinions about being a resident of the state of New Jersey, but I just need to know the capital, Guadalajara. And that's when I said, like, well, obviously, or the capital of America. Well, obviously, it's not Guadalajara. Next best guess, Sioux City. So now he's like pissed, and he leaves the room and goes and, I don't know how he's doing this, but he goes and he fills the bucket up with ice and water. He comes back 2 minutes later and directs the guys, and they're like, all right, let's sit up. Let's sit up, Julian. Let's go to the next part. And just be careful with this poor shivering soul. Like, he would just make fun of me, like, every spot. So they bring me up, and they have the one close-up guy on me. I'm shaking like this, like, literally, like this. They have me on my knees, and I'm like, all right, well, I guess we're done with the laying down stuff. Like, what the fuck is next? Now, I did know the way that they would, as I understand it, the way that they would waterboard terrorists is they would put a mask on their face, towel, whatever, some sort. They would have them bound, right? And they would lean them straight back 90 degrees and count to 10. They could only count to 10 if the CIA followed the rules while dumping the water on their face. Now, apparently, they did somewhat follow the rules with KSM, because KSM, through his bound hands, used to count with his fingers. KSM is the guy who planned 9/11. He used to count with his fingers and laugh because he knew they had to stop at 10. And then they bring you up and they let you breathe. So as it would turn out here, I wasn't going to get the 90-degree in your face, which is a torturous 10 seconds. I was going to get something that I would argue is at least slightly better. But they're not going to take off my mask, and they're going to tighten the mask so I stay drowning. And, I'm in it. This is all stuff like later. I'm like, oh, that's why that sucks so bad. You know what I mean? So they lean me up, and I'm like Deef and me were watching it back like a few days later. And I'm just like, now I'm fucking with him. Because now I'm like, I've lasted long enough. This can end any second. I'm good. Like, we got it. I feel like
victory laps at this point.
Yeah, I'm like, I feel like Tommy was a little longer than this.
Bad
but
enough. Yeah.
We got it. I feel like Miguel's got good enough content. So I'm like, all right, I don't know what they're going to do next. We'll just roll with the punches and call it a day. So he starts giving a speech, and he's like, have you ever heard the term waterboarding? And I'm sitting there shaking. I'm like, once or twice. and he goes, well, we are not going to waterboard you, but we're going to give you, and he picks up that they were taking all the ice and shoving it in between my legs and my ass. So he picks up a big chunk of ice, walks around me like he was just feeling it, bro. Like walks around me, he goes, but we are going to give you a parallel experience, and tosses it. Perfect shot right into my dick. Damn. Like now I'm sitting on a chunk of ice that big. Yeah. I'm like, God damn it. Why is it? I mean, his aim's good and everything.
And the shrinkage is probably crazy right
the
now.
shrinkage is crazy.
Yeah.
You're not even like concerned about that, but you're just like,
I'm a little party.
It's like, right? And then he takes the buckets and he starts doing this in my face. And he's like, we're going to give you something you're not going to forget, or something like that. And I'm like, huh? These motherfuckers are gonna waterboard me. He just said he was gonna give me a parallel experience. What's he doing with the buckets? So they're like, and he keeps giving me a speech, and he's like, God, it was so sinister. The one guy like had a trailer of it. He's like, when you lied, it was like straight out of a movie. I'm like, did you practice this in the mirror?
Do you have the...
I definitely, I have the. Hold on, I gotta pull this up because it was so sinister, like how he did it. That was here it is. I got it. We off now?
The harder you breathe, the more your body demands oxygen. The more that your body demands oxygen, the faster your heart rate increases, the more your blood pressure increases, the more you demand faster breathing. But guess what never changes? Your access to oxygen. Do you know what the capital is for the United States?
He's saying that, bro. Like I picture like Jay-Z back there, like, yo, that's slow. That's slow.
Yeah, yo, cut that up.
The more you fight, the harder you breathe. The harder you breathe, I'm like, what the fuck? Like, how many? That was the other thing that was occurring to me. Like, it occurred to me the first time he opened his mouth that day, and then as the day went on, I was like, how many times did he do this?
Yeah, this is not the first time he said that.
Yeah, like I knew he had probably been around one of these. I was thinking once or twice. And then I was like rethinking. I'm like, I feel like he has some experience.
He got those lines pretty good.
Yeah. So anyway, that line came in between what would be like the two waterboarding things. So he's like, all right, tilt his head forward, sir. After he's like talking to me before that. And he comes up behind me, and they have my head tilted forward like this. Now, Trevor has put a zip tie on the back of my mask so that he can tighten it like a vice, like that, so that you're totally like a plastic bag over your face, except it's soaked with water, right? And so he leans me down, and now it's like real. Because again, I'm like, I'm going to give up at any point here, but see how long we can last. But like, I'm in it. It's not like... I'm not like at this point thinking I can't let Andy break me for clout or something. I'm like actually in it, and like he leans me down, and before he starts, he's like, Tommy's over here. He's nice and comfortable. He's got a towel. He's warm. I bet that would feel good. And Trevor's been fucking with me, so I'm like, that feels fucking great. And then he's like, all right, tilt his head forward. Leans my head forward, and I'm like this, puts me down. He starts dumping the water for about 6 to 8 seconds. And immediately the water's filling up the mask. It's already soaked, so I already could barely breathe. And now there's nothing. And I'm like, whew. And you heard some of like the sounds right there. I'm like, whew. And then like Trevor's pulling me back when it ends. And I'm like this, and then bringing me back forward. I'm like, like breathing like down, but I can't really get air. It's like just enough that like I'm good. But it's like it's a rush. That's what's so weird about it. It's like a rush because now you're like, fuck, I can take it again. Let's fucking go. Like there's no thought. It's like, you didn't kill me. You're going to have to kill me on the next one.
Yeah.
But like you're trying to also recenter yourself because you're not moving. You're shaking like a little bitch. And it's also content. And you still know that in the back of your head.
Yeah.
But you have just loud enough of a voice to be like, you're not giving up right here. And so that's when Andy starts walking away to refill the water. And he's like, the harder you breathe, the harder you, and does the whole thing while he's refilling the water. And Trevor's fucking with me. This is the other thing. Trevor would like hold my head back like that and literally hold my nose and my mouth so I can't even breathe in the water. And like right before they come to do the second one, I'm like, oh, and he pulls me back. There's no breathing. And then he leans me forward. They dump water on me for 8 seconds. He pulls the vise in the back to like yank me back. And what was crazy is it felt like I just kind of stayed still and was like, fuck, can't move, can't breathe, whatever. But my whole body like contorted up because I was like trying to fight to breathe. So I was like shaking around like that. And then I get to the top and you can hear like, and he's like, what's the capital of the United States? I'm like, Washington, D.C. Get it off. And I like yank it off and immediately I'm like, oh, you good? You good? And I was like, and I look up and all the guys are right there, all the cameramen, and they're looking at me like it's a South Park episode. Like, and I'm like, whoa, that was crazy. And I'm like, I'm not fucking dying for this. And none of them laugh. Except Tommy. Tommy in the back goes, yeah, like starts cracking out because he's like, holy shit, that was wild. And then I was just like I let out like, ooh, like holy shit. And then they got me up and I was just, it was a crazy feeling. You were like, wow, something, I don't know what that is. I'm going to have to watch that back on tape, but I feel like that went to 60%. You know,
holy
it definitely
shit.
didn't go to 100% like they would really do it, but you know, I'll take 60. Like that's pretty fucking good. And they bring me back to the bucket and they were like, dude, they were so fucking serious about it. At the time, they were like, you good? You good? Like, holy shit. And everyone comes back and sets up the cameras and they're like, yo, get his hoodie off. So they like, I put this up on my Instagram, but like, they, you know, they're like checking my shoulder, like, and then I take my hoodie off and my cutoff is soaked. I'm like, just leave it. My cutoff is completely, it's just a pool. My pants are a pool. And so I sit down on the bucket and I start getting interviewed and Andy comes back and goes, how would you describe that? I was like, dude, that was a rush. And within about 2 minutes, I start to notice
how much you're shaking.
I'm like, it got worse. Like it didn't start that way. When I sat down, the adrenaline was keeping me not shaking. And then once I calmed down in the seat, my body
is just
convulsing.
convulsing.
And I couldn't, and they were getting shots from the side.
Yeah, no,
like
the video of you
front.
shaking in this is insane.
Yeah, it was nuts. So I was like, and at the time I was like, you know, you couldn't appreciate all of it, but I'm answering the questions and I was like, are all these answers like really bad? And they're like, no, like these are good. I'm like, I don't know. Like, cause you're not even thinking straight. And then I get off the chair and they're like, all right, we want Tommy to come back down again. Let's get another reaction. So I go off to the side and Trevor comes up to me and you know, this psycho, look at him, look at his face. Look at him while he's choking me.
Yeah.
That's what he would do to me.
He's not goofing around.
But look, he's not looking at me.
Interesting.
He used to be looking at, when I didn't know this, but when you watch the tape before this, he's looking at me. But when it got to this part, he couldn't look at me. So he comes up to me and goes, brother, that was really painful for me to do. I'm like, it didn't look fucking painful. It looked like you were into it. He's like, no.
Is that just something he did or is that something they teach? Like, don't look.
Yeah. Well, no. That's like because again, like we're like friends at this point.
Right.
You know, we had breakfast that morning, you know, like nice guy. He's friends with people I'm friends with. And he's just like, dude, you know, that was really painful for me to do. And I bullshitted with him, but he's like, no, really, like that was tough. But I apparently in the interview afterwards, I was like disappointed that I broke or something. I don't remember saying anything.
Like, did you kind of like looking back at the interview? Do you remember exactly? Because your memory's great generally. Your recall is pretty impeccable.
I thought they had waterboarded me 3 times, not twice, because in between the 2 waterboardings, when he was doing this and shit, in my head it was in the moment a waterboarding.
Interesting.
But he wasn't actually, they weren't
doing
pouring
anything,
water.
right.
So they said, you only got it twice, not 3 times. I said, okay. So I had that wrong. But I thought it broke on the 3rd time. It felt pretty biblical, you know? But he was like, dude, that was. He's like, don't worry about. He goes, everybody breaks. There's no one that doesn't break. He's like, you guys just did a remarkable job. And then he like, after Tommy was done on the buck, he's like, dude, it's amazing what you guys just did. Apparently, though, in between, Psycho, Miguel, in between, like after Tommy got done, you saw all the shit they were doing to Tommy, dumping water and shit. I mean, the angles were insane. You got Andy doing all the theatrics. They're interviewing Tommy, and Miguel goes up to Andy. He's like, I need more.
No.
I need more. That's not enough. Andy's like, dude, we could stop right now. You got enough for a documentary. He's like, no, I need more. And so when I was lasting on just the fucking bed, they're like, they're talking, like you can hear them while he has me sitting there when he's not talking to me. You can like hear them talking. They're like, oh shit, Andy wants to waterboard him. He's doing pretty well with this. Yeah, I guess we're gonna waterboard him. I'm like, gee, thanks guys. Thanks for sticking up for me. You could have said no.
Yeah, dude.
You know, but we
Miguel,
got it.
Send Miguel to Guantanamo.
That's
He can
what I'm
go
saying.
film over there. He sounds like he's equipped.
I'm
for
like,
this.
we'll send you back. You know what I mean? It's in your blood. Sorry.
He should work over there.
Yeah,
right?
right.
He just get hired by the CIA.
Right. No, I didn't know. He could just be hired by his own people. I feel like he'd be all right. But he's from one of them. Anyway, but Andy and Trevor come up to us after, like, I talk with Trevor talks with Tommy, and then they get interviewed one more time, and then they get up, because we have, like, allegedly 2 more rounds to go for the afternoon. And Andy goes, yo, totally up to you guys. You guys got enough. Like, and you've had an experience today. Like, this has been very legit. You guys did very well. You know, we can cut it right here. And Tommy and I just looked at each other and we're like, nah, fuck that. We're like, we're going to keep going. So
You guys kept going?
yeah, we were just like, you know what? Fuck it.
Well,
And dude, Tommy's a savage, bro. What am I going
Yeah.
to say? No? He's like ready to go. And he thinks at this point he only lasted 3 minutes on the ground. So now he's got something to prove, which wasn't true. Because they told him he lasted 3 minutes when it was like 15.
Which
Right.
again is a part of this.
Which
whole
also might have been Andy being like, that'll make him go for the afternoon.
thing. Yeah.
Yeah, that might have been why he did that. But Tommy corrected the record in the documentary, which was good. He's like, and here they lied to me. It was actually 15 minutes upon further review. So we go back, and now they're going to do stress positions. And we get like, they're like, all right, you ready to go? They hood us. They put us down in the chairs. And like, it wasn't, you know, I guess at this point, you just feel like they can't go harder than they just did, which ended up kind of being true, but they start with me now, right? And they put me down in a transit position, and none of this is in the documentary, but Tommy and I, they would get quiet, and Tommy and I would start having funny conversations. He's like, how about those Epstein files? This is June 12th, so it's like right after
It's all happening.
Cash Patel went on Joe Rogan. He's like, I don't know. And there's no Epstein file. And I was like, you can never trust a fucking Metro PCS salesman to tell you about the Epstein files. What the fuck? And he's like, but it feels like the timing's off. But when I saw it later, I was like, oh, that was so good. We should have used that. But, you know, and then Trevor, that was the one time all day he was kind of laughing in the background. But Andy was not. And Andy comes up, he goes, all right, gentlemen, I understand that, you know, you want to joke around and have fun, but we need answers here. You know, I can't even remember what the question was in the afternoon. It was maybe another math question or something like that.
Now, before we go to the stress testing really quick, the waterboarding thing,
Yeah.
is there a part of you in the back of your head that knows you can't drown technically? Like the sensation is real, but like people say, oh, you can't actually drown, you can't actually die. Yada,
I
yada,
thought I was going to when
your brain tells you
in that last round, because when they do waterboarding, they're supposed to take the towel off and let you get air again. I never got that.
Right.
So I got not as bad of an experience on the actual water because my head is forward and not back.
Right.
That is, in my opinion, I haven't done the back one. I don't want to do the back one, but I feel like that's got to be worse. The sensation feels like it's longer. It's straight up, literally straight up, rather than you're breathing in the wet rag that was already wet. But the aftermath, there's no reprieve. So in between the rounds, you know, he's fucking with me for 65 seconds. And it's just like not breathing. So
Yeah.
I will say, when I did that last, like,
Yeah, that was.
I was like,
you're done.
I was like, and that's why when they pulled the mask off, I was like, I ain't dying for this shit.
Yeah.
Like,
Because your brain literally tells you you're dying.
yeah, but I don't know. I'd need to talk to I'd never talked to a doctor on that since then, or like a scientist or something. I'm sure they could answer this question better. But like, I felt like there's no air.
Yeah.
And he had it tight, dude. It wasn't like if he stays tight. Oh, that was the other thing. I had a plan before what I thought was the third one, but was really the second one, right? Which was the last one where I ended up breaking. I had a plan that like when he did it and finished the water, I was going to pretend to faint to buy time. Bad plan.
Yeah, I feel like it's not the right plan.
Because then the water happened and a sensation went into my head that said I'm going to die before I hit the ground, which isn't true.
Wow.
Right? But that's how like
your brain
fucked up you are. Your brain was like, I went straight up. And again, I didn't realize I went straight up into the sky. Like in between, after that second round, before we started the third round, Dre was like, yo, look at this shit, bro. And I was like, what? He's like, bro.
Because it's not your control. It's not you in conscious brain.
Yeah,
it's your subconscious,
I just felt like a shivering
brain.
little bitch still and trying to breathe. But it was like, I'm a shivering little bitch, but like I went straight up.
And
like
they said something interesting where they're like, everyone breaks in 15 minutes. Like the vast majority of people.
I don't know if they said a minutes thing, but they said everyone breaks, period.
Right.
Just in general.
But they said, I think it was like 15, but they're like, most people, it's like between
Maybe
10 and
they
15
did.
or something to that effect, I think.
They might have.
But it's like an interesting thing where you're like, yeah, no, I could do it. I can hit. It's like, no.
Right. But.
And then if you can last, it's 30 minutes, an hour.
That was the thing. When we were having dinner that night at Tommy's house, like the whole crew, we were talking to Andy about it. And I said to him, I said, I didn't realize like how experienced you were with this. And he's like, dude, but it's not like what we did today. I'm like, what do you mean it's not like that? He goes, yeah, those things happen. And yes, they're worse than what you got. Like that's what they would do. And it got worse. Like you guys didn't get 100%, which we knew that.
Yeah.
But he's like, it's not like 6 hours or 7 hours. It's a Tuesday. You walk in there for 15, 30 minutes like, all right, well, I guess we got to torture this guy, see if we get an answer. And you come back 12 hours later, and if he gives you an answer at that point, you give him a fucking peanut butter sandwich. It's just a job.
Yeah.
So that part, like the continuous nature of it, technically, like isn't really what they would have to do. But they just go really hard at someone and then let them sit on it for a long time. And then if they don't get an answer, they do it again the next day, again the next day. Some guys get this for weeks at a time, but everybody breaks. It's a matter of if they really wanted to break someone and maybe potentially break some laws, even though they were already breaking laws to do this in the first place. You know, the laws that they invented. The fucking torture guidelines, then yeah, like I would imagine people are going to break in 10 to 15 minutes or 20 minutes.
Is it torture?
See, I don't even know how I answered it at the time, and I don't know how I would answer it now. I would probably say waterboarding is a form of torture.
Yeah. I
would say the stress positions are arguably anti-constitutional.
Yeah.
And when I say arguably, it's being general and generous. I don't know if I'd call it full-blown torture. I thought I didn't. A couple days later when Joe and I were recording an episode recapping it, I thought I didn't break my toe, but my toe had been fractured.
Fuck.
From the stress, you know, which you can't. I went to my uncle that weekend. I was like, oh, fuck.
Yeah.
He's like, there's nothing to do with it. It just heals.
Yeah.
So it was fine. It was fine a few weeks later.
Was it from this one?
No. That was the last one. But the stress positions, not that transit one. That transit one you can last in for a while.
Yeah.
I didn't think that's that bad. The other ones suck. Like the last one we did, I lasted a minute. Tommy lasted 2 minutes. And
what was the last one?
The last one's just they would put you against a wall, move your feet back, and have you press your forehead against the concrete, and all the weight of your body goes into the concrete. And I was like yelling. Tom was on the other one. I was on this one right here. Our backs are to each other. And I was like, Tom, I think I'm checking out. And so I've had enough. He's like, okay. And then I'm like, all right. And Andy's like, you know the word. He's like just pissed at this point. I'm like, cupcake. And they let me off. And then Tommy lasted a little while longer because Tommy's a wrestler too. And that position, like unbelievable neck strength. So like you see Tommy's neck like bulging. Like his whole traps are bulging and everything, and he held on for a while longer. But before that, that was the final round. That was the quickest round. The third round was the last long round, and that was when we were talking about the Epstein files and shit. And then I was feeling really good at this point because I'm like, we already got enough content. I don't give a fuck. Like, I'll give up right away. Let's just get some funny sound bites if they're going to use it. So, like, Andy, it was spell the word. What was the word we were spelling? July. He's
Okay.
like, spell July. And I'd be like, Fuckyou. And so he got pissed. And so Tommy was fucking with him a little less right now. So he puts me down first. He goes, all right, let's get the zip ties undone, get Julian down in the SERE position. I'm like, all right, what the fuck is the SERE position? The SERE position is when they put you, it's before that, Christos, a few minutes, but they basically take you and put you. I should not have been bulking before this. I'm not looking good. I look a lot better now.
I mean, compared to Tommy, anyone's gonna look a little.
Yeah,
not
I was
ideal.
in like a 3-month bulk, so I was carrying around like 15 pounds extra fat. What are you gonna do?
I see myself in the mirror on any given day, and I'm like, ugh.
We look a lot better now, so that's okay. But
Tommy didn't do you any favors. He should have told you, like, hey, let's go for this.
zero. Look at Tommy, bro. 0%. That's also like the worst position you could be in.
Yeah.
But anyway, so what they do is they stick you down on your knees with your feet behind you, and the tops of your feet are flat. And you're thinking, all right, I'm just fucking kneeling, right? And then they take you and they push you back. So all the weight of your body goes right, like on, I don't want to hold my foot up so the fucking psychos can screenshot it, but like, you know what I mean? But like if your big toe is like that, like where it's got the little curve right there,
Yeah.
all the weight goes on the top ball of your foot, and on that, whatever the fuck, maybe my doctors out there, if they watch this show, can help me, goes onto that bone right there. That's what fractured,
Yeah.
right? And when he put me back into that, it was that like,
Yeah.
fuck you.
Let's roll this real quick. Because I just want to see the.
This was
Wow.
after he was down there for a while.
Damn.
And I broke, but like right away when he broke, he was like, Julian, you haven't answered our question. And I was like, please don't ask me August, like in my head, because then I
like
got to hold out
AG.
anner one.
Like,
But no. I was like, then I'm going to have to hold out another one.
yeah.
But he said July. I was like, J-U-L-O-Y.
Yeah.
It's like, let's get up. But
Fuck.
but they started doing that, and then Andy would come. He's like, you look like you need to be pushed back farther. I was born with dislocated hips too, so that doesn't help, right? Like I'm athletic, but I'm not flexible.
Yeah.
Not flexible. So he's pushing me back on my flexibility. So there's like simultaneously some things happening here, and then Tommy's so flexible. He's got Tommy back like that, bro.
Fuck.
So Tommy's just got all the weight there, but when I could feel the crunching on the fucking hardwood.
Fracturing your toe.
Oh,
like,
dude,
yeah.
I thought I was fracturing my foot. I did. My feet were black and blue, but they were not fractured. They were fine. I wouldn't have been able to walk.
I mean, this is like one of these things. Like, I would never even think that this would be bad.
Right.
Like, if you were like, "Hey, torture someone," this would never come up.
Right. So then Andy like comes up and starts, fuck it. They didn't put this in there, but like he and I had been talking about like, I guess like training and stuff and like bodybuilding and things like that. So I was like, here's what I'm working on. Here's what I'm bulking on and everything like that. So he comes up and he like I'm back here and he pulls up my pendant and he goes, it's a little extra weight to be holding right there. You know, I bet that's not nice. And I'm like, whatever. Like he starts like almost like going with it, like acting. And then he starts grabbing little bits of fat on me. And he goes, I know you're bulking right now, but you're carrying around a little extra or something like that. And I'm in the mask and I just turn to him and I'm like, I can't really see him, but I'm looking at him. I just start laughing like I'm gonna fucking kill you when I get out of here, which I didn't. But, you know, he's just fucking with us. And then we both broke like at the same time.
Is this worse than the waterboarding?
It's a totally different, no, it's not worse than the waterboarding, but it's a totally different thing. And it is so fucking annoying. It's an annoying, searing pain. No pun intended. And so we both went through that. They interview us again, and they're like, guys, we really got enough now. There's only one more thing, and we're like doing it. And that's when we did the cement thing. It was like, I lasted a minute. Tommy, maybe it was like 3 minutes on that. But
Is that because you were kind of worn down? Like, if you did it fresh, could you go longer?
Yeah, at that point, in my head, I was like, we had just fucked with them hard in this scene right here. I was like,
Probably good.
I'm good.
Yeah.
I need my forehead. I'm on camera. Like, I'm already not too good looking. Let's not ruin it.
No,
So-
come on. You're like a little Jim Morrison.
So anyway, well, some people
Right?
said that. I keep getting Danny Duncan.
Yeah.
That's what they keep
the modern
saying.
Jim Morrison.
Yeah,
you know?
something like that. But
Whose dad was CIA. So there you go.
no, that's right.
Yeah.
Oh, I see what you did there. But you could have said fucking Mick Jagger, but you didn't.
All of them, their parents are CIA. What the
But
fuck?
anyway, so that was the whole. Yeah, I that's like the first time anyone ever said I look like someone. I'm like, all right, you're not crazy.
Yeah.
It's similar.
I can see it.
It's similar.
I mean, I bet you he couldn't go, a minute and a half in the cement
Have
position.
you seen his content, bro?
Yeah, he actually might be able
I'll
to handle
bet
it.
he could have gone a lot longer than I did.
Yeah, he's a wild boy.
Yeah, he's
wild
out
boy.
of his fucking mind, bro. Put him through that. He'll probably go 14 hours.
Yeah.
But yeah, like I do think like we were competitive with it because we're like, we got to get good content. Like, you don't let Andy break you for clout. I think a lot of people would have been able to get through a lot of it if they had that mentality. Just like, all right, let's make sure we do enough here because it's not real. You can get out of it. That's where you can't simulate.
I wonder if that's difficult in its own way, though, because you're like, oh, if I just say this, I'm done. Whereas, like, if you're in an actual, situation, it's like, well, if I say this, like, will it keep going? Like, will they kill me?
Well, all right, so let's play with that. Maybe I built a business, right? I started in my parents' house with nothing, and the only reason I exist is because I had my parents' roof over my head. Like, I literally couldn't buy socks.
Mm-hmm.
So I had to make it or fucking be a loser for the rest of my life.
Right.
But the mentality is either I get up and work today or nothing happens.
Mm-hmm.
I could technically get up and not do anything and get on fucking food stamps or something.
Yeah.
But I was like, I don't want that. So I'm going to do. I think it's like all right, I could give up on this and not get what we need to do today, or I could do the hard thing and get what we need to do today, and people will actually get somewhat of a simulation here. But here is where you cannot simulate it. I cannot possibly simulate having a secret, whatever that is larger than my actual life in my possession that an enemy combatant is trying to get out of me.
Yeah.
I cannot possibly simulate that. There is nothing you could do for content to ever and like, again, talk to Andy about it. This is 60-70% of what they would start with, bro.
Yeah.
What happens when the pliers come out?
Yeah, I mean, fuck all that.
Like, they skip tasers. They go to whatever the fucking things they use in Jurassic Park are. You know what I mean? Like, this is like children's stuff. So as bad as this sounds, you could probably last.
Okay. Can we take a pre-break and then debrief on some more CIA shit?
Yeah, why not?
Okay. All right, we're back in. After this experience, I'm curious what your thoughts are on enhanced interrogation. And did you talk to Bustamante about what else could have happened or what else could have been done to you guys had, like, was there an extra plan, or if this was a real situation, where else would this have gone?
All right, so he had no extra plan past that. I hope not.
Okay.
I don't think they were like going to electrocute our balls or anything. Like, I think we did what they had planned. But again, 60-70% of capacity of just that.
Yeah.
Not including the capacity beyond that, which is you add another 100%, add another 200%. I don't know. My answer on this probably changes over time because it's still like you process it and whatever. Of course, the age-old question of, there's a nuclear bomb in New York City. It's going to go off in 3 hours. There's one man sitting in front of you in the chair. He knows where it is. Would you or wouldn't you? Yeah, everyone's going to do that.
Yeah.
They're going to do whatever it takes. But the Constitution and laws are a strange, slippery slope with things. I struggle with this a lot on stuff. I will say, I haven't had a full talk with John Kiriakou about it. Because I sent John, like, the raw footage from the airport. He's like, oh, my God, that's awful. Good on you to do it. Now you know how fucked up this is. And I was like, it worked, John. I don't know, man. So
I've heard that sometimes the quality information can be not great.
Because people want to tell you what you want to hear. I was thinking, and that's what I was saying to people, you can't simulate that.
Mm-hmm.
Because a lot of times, they get some fucking guy that they picked up in some, wherever in Pakistan. They're like, we think he knows somebody. And it turns out to just be like, the fucking doorman.
Yeah.
And then 4 fingers later, it's like, yes, Osama is right there. And then he's not there.
I would just say whatever. You know what I mean? Like,
know?
if someone's torturing me, they're like, what's your grandpa's name? I'd be like, Gerald. I would just say whatever.
Whatever you want it to be, baby.
Yeah.
Like,
because at least, even if it's not that, I know it's not that. But you guys are going to go find out, and then you're going to come back. And then I'll go through this again, but at least I have a day.
That's right.
Know?
That's right. So there's that part. The other part is, and I was trying to think about this, you can't truly simulate it, but my thought was, if I really did have information, like for real, I feel like eventually I'd give it.
Of course you would.
That's what I'm saying, but like everyone breaks, do you break with the right information?
Don't tell me government secrets, because I will tell them.
Yeah, that's the thing. It's just so...
I'll tell them in this pod. I won't even get tortured. Like,
it's a strange...
I'll put in the title. I'm not... Like, what are we talking about? Yeah. I'm not built for it.
I don't know. It's a tough one. It's going to be interesting when I talk with John. He's going to come in November, I think. Yeah. And when I talk with him about it, because for people out there, John Kiriakou was a very high-level CIA guy who blew the whistle on the torture stuff, and then they threw him in jail for it. Mm-hmm. And that's a whole fucked up story, what they did to him. But he was the one guy, a senior-level guy behind the scenes when they said they were going to do this after 9/11, who said this is bullshit and we should not do this. And he's not a pussy. Mm-hmm. You're talking about a dude who was a hardcore undercover spy, the dude who personally took down Abu Zubaydah himself. This is a hardened motherfucker. This is not a dude that if I were on the wrong end of him, I want to be stuck in a back alley with. Like, this is a real guy, and that was his stance on it. And I have a ton of respect for that, and he paid the ultimate price. It was total bullshit what they did to him. Everything that they did to him was bullshit. But it's like, you know... Would you? I don't know. And I'm I also have bias. Like, I'm always gonna like look at something the CIA does and say we shouldn't fucking do that.
Yeah, of course.
And like, yeah, there's a laundry list of that, of the shit they do that's just completely against the Constitution. And this is too. This is like one thing that I'm like, yeah, no, I don't know. But it's not. Look, in a utopian world where, like, America's supposed to stand for something and we're supposed to be better than other people, no, we should not do it.
Yeah.
And, again, like, I got a small taste. What they do is significantly worse than that. And I also say that knowing that at least some of those things on that enhanced interrogation list, they definitely went beyond. Otherwise, you don't destroy those tapes.
Yeah, of course.
They went well beyond.
And then, not to mention, there's things that you don't even necessarily, like, in this simulation connect with. So it's like, hey, we actually got your dad. Yeah. Hey, we actually got your kid.
Yeah.
Hey, and maybe you'll never see your kid again. Like, all of these things that are now even compounding the stress.
Yeah.
It's like, you can't even comprehend that. Again, there's no simulation for that. It
was so strange, though, like, psychologically, because we get out of it, we finish, and then everyone high-fives. And then, Tommy was... Watching Tommy G work is, like, so fucking cool. Because, like, he has this, like, all shucks Milwaukee thing. That motherfucker's 10 steps ahead of everybody. He had this whole thing thought out. After this whole experience, he sits down and interviews each guy for like 45 minutes apiece with perfect questions, 60-minute style. He and Miguel are setting up the set. It's perfect. He's got Trevor here, then he does Andy over here, and then we each did one. So when Andy and I were done, I was like, I need fucking coffee. Like, I need some. By the way, waterboarding, terrific for a cold. My cold was gone.
Yeah.
Afterwards.
Oh, that's nice.
Afterwards. That was another thing. When I was in there and they were starting this whole thing, I was struggling breathing. I wanted to fucking kill Brian. I was like, because, I'm like a little stuffed up, so it's harder, But once we got to the waterboarding, I was not really thinking about that. I do wonder if maybe I would have had that 2% of oxygen I needed to go another round, but probably not.
Yeah.
Probably not. But, like, at this point, cold's gone.
They should prescribe that.
They should prescribe it.
If you got mono, I want RFK to come out with that. No more Tylenol.
And I don't like waterboarding, but waterboarding is a terrific thing that I'm not saying. Listen, the CIA killed my father.
That's a good RFK, dude.
They killed my father. They killed my uncle, but they know how to waterboard. But they're like, I'm like, I need a coffee. And Andy's like, I was thinking I could get something too. Like, just like that. And I'm like,
did you hold any animosity Like,
No.
not literally, but like, was your body a little bit like?
No, my body was. It was a rush.
Yeah.
You're just like, wow. All right, we weren't a total pussy today. That was the thought. It was like that was the win.
Yeah.
It was like we didn't bitch out. Like Tom and me were high fiving.
How'd you sleep?
And it was good. Oh, I slept like a baby that night. But when we were done, like I wanted the coffee. And so again, we're like right off the beaten path. We're like, civilization? No civilization. Nothing's happening here. So Andy and I look at Andy, he goes, I could use one too. So we walk outside. Like this is his attitude. Like he's just chill. This is right after finishing.
Got his fanny pack.
He's chill. And he's like, all right, let's take a walk. I'm like, yeah, there's like some fucking flea market up here or some shit. Like, I'm sure they got something there. So we go up and like, again, there's people in Milwaukee. So this is like a whole experience for me. I walk over the drawbridge. You're in civilization. You ever been to the Reading Terminal in Philly?
I have actually.
Great spot. It's like all these fucking places, and it's a whole city block, and you walk in, and it's a giant old school food market of just like different little restaurants, different little spots to buy Whole Foods. So they got their own like mini Milwaukee one called like the Public Market. That's like a half mile away. So he and I walked there. My shirt's like dried off a little bit at this point, but I'm just looking around at all these people. I'm like, if only they knew.
Dude.
And I go up, I order a coffee. He's like, I think I'm going to go over here. So I walk with him. He goes, yeah, I'll take a yellow smoothie with, I'm like, oh, fuck you, dude. Fuck you. And then we walk back, and then we go home to Tommy's. The whole team came over. We had dinner. Tommy has like he has beautiful like open grass acreage behind him. And again, it's June in Milwaukee, so it's not like snowing. So that was a W. It was like, like 70 degrees. And he's got a little lake back there. And then there's a nature trail that goes around the lake into the woods. It was great. So we had dinner. Then we all went on a walk through the trail. It was like a very nice ending to the day. But those guys were totally turned off. Like they were good.
Different humans.
Yeah. And they were really proud of the whole team. They're like, everyone got all the footage, like great
you guys
job.
Did what
like
you needed to do.
Dude, shout out to the fucking team that captured everything. Like like I said, I've seen all the raws. The camera work was unreal. Like I'll show you the raw tape of like what they did to Tommy and what they did to me in that middle session when you come over. When I got it, I just put it together and I like switched it just like live, just like this. And at the end, I'm like, there's nothing to do. They would have a moving shot close up of like Andy holding the bucket simultaneously while another guy's just getting his face, simultaneously while a guy's getting a wide shot. And none of them were talking to each other. They just knew their job. So like Miguel had it set up to a T. And I think what's really cool, and it's kind of a testament to Tommy, I don't think something like this has ever been done before. There's, a 20-minute video of Tim Kennedy lying back and doing, having water dumped and then come, with the towel and then coming up and being like, yeah, I can take it. Like he's a tough motherfucker. Like he kept doing it. But as far as like actually getting abducted, going through somewhat of a process, I mean, they do this all the time in the military and to a worse degree. But like doing it in public, like on YouTube, kind of cool. Like that was something Tommy was like, fuck it, let's do it. And I got a lot of respect for that.
Would you do it again?
No. I'm good. I 11 out of 10 wouldn't recommend.
Come on.
Mark, I'm retired. Okay?
Call it off. I had some guys here that...
I'm going to keep... Well, we got him back. You saw that?
Wait, what? Oh, yeah.
When he got Andy back. He didn't see it coming either. It was good. Great camera work by Deef, by the way.
Hell yeah, dude.
Deef played it so smooth, like right before I got on, as I put sunglasses on, because I'm like, I need my eyes like covered before I break, because we were going to do a podcast, and I had my two buddies who I was calling Vinny and Rocco hiding in the closet behind the curtain in like balaclavas and fucking, sunglassed up and everything, and they were going to come out in zip time. So I knew I had to get to it. And Deef was like, oh, yeah, no, I got to do the B-roll first. I'm like, oh, yeah, just get that out of the way. So Deef is doing the switcher and B-rolling, like us going back and forth. And then I was like, Vinny, Rocco. And they come and like bust out of there. And he was like, come on. Like, he was like, you gotta be fucking. And then they didn't know how to zip time.
Yeah, a little less professional of a team.
Yeah, he's like holding up his hand. He's like, you dropped one. Like, God damn it. Giovanni like fucking hugged him. My buddy Giovanni was one of them. He like hugged him.
Got a
He was like laughing the whole time. I'm like, you don't fucking hug the guy. You grab his arm and you zip tie him.
They did
So I'm
their
like
best.
filling the water in the shower and carrying the bat around, expecting them to do a professional job. I trained them for like a whole 5 minutes right before this. I was like, now get in the closet like it's fucking Anne Frank. Don't make a sound. They wait in there for 15 minutes and then they come out and then, they just didn't want a zip tie. But it worked out. It was fine.
Well, I'm going to keep my head on a swivel whenever I come into your studio.
Yeah, I'm not going to do that to you, Mark. It was just payback for him.
Look, you can never be too vigilant. And,
That's right.
You're a fantastic storyteller. This
Thank
is
you.
a remarkable story. And the last thing I have to say is just, you're a huge pussy.
Thank you. Thank you. My mom
tapped out 15 minutes in.
I know.
What a fucking loser this guy is.
My mom
right?
started calling me a pussy at 7. It's
see,
why I am the way I am.
I agree with her
She
fully.
never did that.
We have
My
so much
mom
in
was
common,
very
me and your
loving.
mother. Man, you are
Yeah.
such a.
How's your mom doing, by the way?
You're such a loser. I can't believe this, dude. I can't believe you tapped in 15 minutes, bro.
Tell your mom I said hello.
Dude, this guy's unbelievably soft. Oh, the softest guy ever, right? This guy.
It's all right.
I can't.
We're going to have you back in a couple weeks if you make it back from Riyadh. They don't treat the gays well in Riyadh. I'm worried about you.
I'm not gay, dude. I promise. All right, it was
Listen,
one time.
I've seen gays
It
that
was
have
one
kids
time.
too.
It was
Listen,
one time.
I'm just
bro.
saying. All right. Okay.
Oh no, you're a
Good luck.
you're a fucking legend, brother. This is awesome. Thank you so much for coming
thanks
through.
for having me, dude.
I appreciate it. Let's do it again soon.
All right.
Thank you, bro.
Peace.